All right, everybody. I'm going to turn my camera on in just a few seconds. So we are officially live. Turn it on in just a few seconds. Just finishing up breakfast. So, oh no, we're on. We're on. I'm just finishing up breakfast. My apologies for this. For whatever reason, I was trying to set the monitors the way that they were supposed to be, and long story short, it took a while to get everything up and running. So we're almost there. We're almost there, but we are officially on. We are officially on. Just give me one quick second. Do not worry. Do not fret. It's been a quick morning. Quick morning. So give me one quick second, and we'll be good to go. And yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Now start off right. Got a solid 5.5 hours of sleep last night. Got the video done relatively quickly, so we are good to go. All right. And perfect timing. How's it going, everyone? Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Renegades. We are doing a live XFL stream. 6 non-stop hours of streaming. The XFL starts with this game between Arlington and DC, and then we're ending it afterwards with another stream, the big one between St. Louis and Seattle. That's going to be a fun game. Both games on ESPN. Should be a fun one. So a lot of those sporting events on today. I got my eye on a bunch of them, including USFL's on NBC. So I'll be having a monitor on there as well. Big game today, this one, Arlington, DC. Here's what's at stake for both of these teams. DC has clinched a playoff spot. They're automatically in. If they win today, and Seattle at 5-3 beats St. Louis, then DC's got home field. DC has home field for the North Division title. Arlington, they win today. They are officially in the playoffs. They clinch a spot. They lock down that number 2 seed in the South Division. If they don't, Week 10 is what it's going to come down to, with San Antonio and Arlington fighting for their playoff lives on the final week of the season. And keep in mind that Arlington will be playing St. Louis, probably has a lot to play for, and the Brahmas will be playing the Defenders, who might have nothing to play for, who will have nothing to play for if they win, if the Defenders win and Seattle loses, or Seattle wins also. So thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have the drill. You've been here before. If you have any questions for me about anything, I'll just fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. If you want to donate and have your question move to the front of the queue, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the questions in the order that I see them. In terms of what you see on your screen, the 3 red boxes indicate timeouts. The 1 blue box indicates challenges. You can challenge anything you want, so just keep that in mind. DC is going to be kicking off to Arlington to start this one off. Supposedly a sold-out crowd in DC today. Supposedly, I'm guessing it's a bit of a late arriving crowd, but supposedly every seat is sold out. And weather chart with the weather report. Weather is beautiful, few clouds in the sky, all good, 5-10 mile per hour winds. So perfect weather for the game. I have the DC Lemon Warriors, as do I. Speaking of the wind, that ball, did that bounce in the end zone, or did that bounce at the 5 and then roll into the end zone? Either way, Luis Perez is going to take over. Again, recently acquired from the Vegas Vipers. Looked way more comfortable last week than he did the entire season in Vegas. Tickets are up to $60. Oh my goodness, wow. DC has been a home run of a market. An absolute home run of a market. As it was in 2020. That is awesome to see. All right, so first down for the Renegades. Perez at the 15-yard line. Again, that ball bounced in the field of play and then into the end zone. So that is it's 15-yard line, not a 35-yard line touchback. Perez, play action. Look at a fire over the middle. It's caught. It is caught. Takes the contact, absorbs the contact, and it is Rennell Hall. So a good start. First down for the Renegades. So to hear that E40 got kicked out of the Warriors-Kings game last night, I did hear that. Need to hear more of the details. Need to hear way more of the details before I can form an opinion on that, because I have no clue what the circumstances behind that were. No clue what the circumstances behind that were. If I hypothetically had time and energy to do another red zone video, which week would I do it for? That's a great question. Let me think about that. Handoff goes to David Smith. He's got a hole. 30, 35 down at the 36-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. David Smith, one of the better runners in the XFL. Eventually brought down on the play there. And depth chart is all off. I do not have a Reggie Northrup on my depth chart. RFK is still around, yes. 2nd and 1. A lot of guys on the line. They give it to Smith again. This time he gets the first down. Needed 1. He got about 4, but there was a flag on the play, so hold on just a second. Hold on just a second, folks. If I were to do a red zone, and I could choose any week, the flag is offside. So move it up 5 yards. It's a first down either way. A red zone any week, so I can choose any week I want. Doesn't matter whether I have footage or not. That's an interesting question. I would say, I could choose any week. Man, that is tough. Think about some great weeks. Screen pass. He's got a hole. 50, 45, 40, 35. Down at the 34-yard line. It is Lenny Brown. Down at the 34-yard line. Gain of 26 on the play. Arlington did not start off with great field position. Started at their own 15-yard line. And ever since then, it's just been nonstop dominance on this drive to start off. Perez already has 36 yards passing on this drive. Lenny Brown takes that screen pass for a huge gain. And the Renegades easily into DC territory at the 35-yard line. Perez with a shotgun. He's got time. Fires over the middle. It's caught by Brown. Brown at the 18-yard line. There's a flag on the play. It came from the secondary. Tackle on the play there made by Francis Bernard. DC indicating that it's on Arlington. We will see. Again, it came in the secondary. Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. So DC said wrong. So add the personal foul to it. So they're going to get the 9-yard line. First and goal at the 9-yard line. Arlington, 10-point underdogs in this game. No one really expected them to do anything this game. Off to a great start, though. It's early, but they are off to a phenomenal start. And again, we saw yesterday Orlando, opening drive touchdown, moved down the field with ease, and they didn't really do much after that. But if I had the time and energy to do a red zone, man. Honestly, probably be a week 17 of some kind. 1996 week 17 just for Jags Falcons would be fun. Flag on the play. Third flag on this drive. First 2 were on DC. We'll see what this one is on. Very Steph narrative going wild after last night. Personal foul, face mask on the defense again. Back-to-back face mask penalties. Reggie Barlow, his team kind of imploding on this drive. 12:06 left, and they've been called for 3 penalties already. It's like the anti-game against Houston. Move it to the 4. Let's see. The whole Max Kellerman thing got memed on, but To some extent, I haven't seen Steph hit a clutch shot in the playoffs before. I haven't seen him hit like a buzzer beater, anything like that. I couldn't do 2021 because that already exists. I don't want to do red zone for something that already exists. Handoff gets about 2 yards on the play, down at the 1 yard line, 2nd and goal. Oh, Coach Burrow is absolutely going to be on his defense for this. Absolutely. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. No, they don't play at RFK. They play it where DC United plays, Audi Field. How's it going from Canada? Ben, thank you so much for tuning in. I got my screen time report. That's what that loud buzz was. I cannot control. Handoff up the middle goes to Smith at a great stop on the defensive line. He's not in. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Francis Bernard. 3rd and goal. Bernard's been probably the best player for the defenders on this defense this drive. Not that's saying much, but he's in on the tackle. Also in on the tackle, Jamal Brooks, the inside linebacker. 3rd and goal. It's 4 down territory. They're at the line with 4 seconds. Can they get the snap off in time? They motion the tight end. 1. They get it off in time. Play action. Perez fires. End zone. He's open. Did he get in? Did he get in? I don't think he did. The referee is saying no. The play action pass, it's completed to the tight end, but not for a touchdown. Francis Bernard, once again, with the tackle. He is just short. He did not extend that ball. He did not extend that ball. Catch made by Nate Becker. 4th and goal. Will we see a goal line stand? Here we go. 4th and goal at the 1. Perez. Tight end is motioned. It's an option play. And the play is blown dead. It is blown dead before the snap, I think. I think they blew it dead before the snap. As it stands, he's short. False start. All right, prior to the snap, false start. So redo 4th down, and now you think they got to kick the field goal. A disaster of a drive, but then again, the fact that he was short on that. He was short on that. So maybe they kind of got bailed out. It's going to be Taylor Russolino. It's either him or Parker Romo is the best kicker in the XFL. My money's on Russolino. 11 for 13. Chip shot for him. Got a 23-yard kick from this distance. The kick is up from 23. It's right down the middle. So on one hand, you drove down from your own 15-yard line. On the other hand, wasted opportunity. Down at the goal line. And DC, despite all the penalties on the drive, they only allow 3 points. So Arlington takes the opening lead. They have a 3-0 lead going into the first commercial break. In a small league like the XFL, second place in the division should not guarantee you a playoff spot if the other division's third place. Exactly. I completely agree. I do not like the playoff system. I do not like it one bit. I don't like the fact if every team's playing each other. Literally, every team is playing each other, so I don't get why that's the case. We know about the attendance for Memphis Phillies that was estimated 15,000? That's it? Really? I mean, Liberty Bowl looked 40% full. Liberty Bowl looked about 40% full. Because remember, they didn't sell half of it. So, Liberty Bowl holds 58,000. I would have said probably around 23K. I mean, 15K is a very good number. Don't get me wrong. 15K is a very good number, but I don't get why they didn't announce it. First off, withholding information is never a good idea. It is never a good idea to withhold information. But I don't get why they wouldn't release the numbers from Memphis and Birmingham. I will say, NBC right now, the attendance for the game taking place with Houston and New Orleans, or Houston rather, it's probably about 12, based on what I've looked at. It's probably about 12. And the USFL, we will start streaming in week 4 for that. Michigan-Houston is taking place on NBC right now. Pittsburgh-New Orleans taking place later today on FS1. And week 4 is when we will start USFL streams. Don't want to do it during the XFL season because it would just be way too much on my plate. Week 5, we might do a triple header with the 2 USFL games and the XFL championship. We might do that. That's pushing it. We might do it. We might do a triple header. XFL championship game is in San Antonio. They're playing the game at the Alamodome. Is there anything preventing Dan Snyder from buying the Defenders? Dear Lord, I hope not. I mean, there's nothing preventing him from doing that. It would be a huge cash boost to the XFL that I don't think they could deny, but he won't do it. He would not do it. Full DC attendance and celebration with the Senators, absolutely. Do I see Canadian NHL team in the Stanley Cup Finals? This year, no. I have maybe McDavid against San Antonio, but I have Colorado against Carolina. Oh, there are plans to demolish RFK Stadium to build a youth field. That's good. That's good. That stadium is just rotting. Will the XFL last longer than the USFL? I think so. The USFL, I think the hub model, the whole point of the hub model is to prevent travel costs, but when you have 4 hubs, it doesn't really prevent travel costs. So I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there. I think it's going to bite them. I hope it doesn't. I hope all these leagues succeed. Kickoff return down to the 29-yard line. Is Williams Jr., Puka Williams, on the return. Down to 29. And here comes Jordan Ta'amu. One of the best quarterbacks in the XFL. One of the favorites with the way DC is playing for the MVP. AJ McCarron, probably the front runner, even though he missed the game. But then again, if St. Louis misses the playoffs, you never know. It's probably right now a 3-horse race between Ta'amu, DiNucci, and McCarron. Play action into the flat. Tight end's got it at the 44-yard line. Ethan Wolf, hungry like the wolf as he gets 15 yards and a first down. Rule change if the XFL returns next year. Let's see. As curl route, wide open man, just like that. They're in Arlington territory after just 2 plays. It is Chris Blair. They're going quick. They are going very, very quick. Right to the line. First down for 2 straight completions for Ta'amu. 4 wide, shotgun, handoff. Up the middle, down to the 31-yard line. It's Abram Smith, gain of 5 on the play. Rule changes if XFL returns next year. Everyone ends up 6-0, 12-6, no extra points. Okay, allow a kick option, plus 2 to 3 point options. Plus OT is better in NFL and college OT should be from 25. Oh no, I like the PK shootout option. Screen pass, it's caught to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. It is Josh Hammond, and they are in a goal-to-go situation. Moving down the field with ease. Play action bubble screen. Gain of 22 yards on the play, and Josh Hammond gets some first and goal at the 9. No, I like the overtime rules. I have no problem with not kicking. I have no problem with the no kicking option. Play action curl route. It is caught, and he is, is he in? Is he in? They are saying he's in. They are saying he's in. Josh Hammond, back-to-back catches, and DC moves down the field, 5 plays, 71 yards, 145. That's all it took to do it. Touchdown. DC Defenders. That was easy. Nice extension there by Hammond. He is in. He is absolutely in. That took less than 2 minutes. We'll see if they do here. So DC was trailing for about 2 minutes. Gonna go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Here we go. Tamu, motion wideout. Tamu looks, end zone, over the middle, incomplete, bit high, intended target on the play. Lucky Jackson, not so lucky on that one. But a great drive by DC nonetheless. Under 2 minutes, they drive the length of the field, never faced a third down. A great response after a long drive by the Renegades. The Fox Sports contract with venues is weird. It's like they're treating attendance as classified information. Yeah, I don't get it because we have eyeballs. We can see. It's not like there's a reason to withhold it. Do you remember when KEXP had a feud with the Mariners? I do not remember that. No. How many games do you think the T-Wolves will win this series? My guess is 2. I would say 1. I think 1. That team is just very dysfunctional right now. Very dysfunctional. DC hates Dan Center. If he does decide to buy the defenders, then fans are no longer attend. That is true. That is true. If Center puts in a bid, though, I think you have to accept it. Just because the league would be stable for years. Just off the heels of that one bid. And the parlay look good right now. Let's keep it up. So I know who you have this game. Have I seen the live streams for the Liga de Football Americano in Mexico 10-team semi-pro league? I have not seen those streams. Kiko fields it at the 3-yard line. It's at the 10. Got a hole, 20, 25, 30. Breaks a tackle. Down at the 37-yard line. Rennell Hall. Fields the kickoff that time instead of letting it go into the end zone. 37-yard line, but there was a flag on the play, so hang on a second, folks. This one might be coming back. Which team would have won the XFL 2.0 championship if COVID didn't happen? I mean, I think New York had a shot with the way Perez was playing, but then again, Houston was just dominant. I think Houston probably wins it. If the upside of the USFL hubs is to save money, the downside for viewers of the games look like the reruns of fall 2020 or midweek action. That is true. That is true. That is true. Look, I got the hub model when it was one city. I got the hub model completely when it was one city. It's obvious how you're saving money that way. But you're traveling the same amount with 4 cities. It doesn't make any sense. Out route caught down at the 17-yard line. Will the NFL support the XFL and USFL to avoid antitrust? I mean, they're supporting the XFL. They're absolutely supporting the XFL. Plus, they're not competing with each other. They're taking place at different times. Handoff goes to Smith up the middle. First down. Gain of 6 on the play. Yeah, the Mariners' history is very weird. I will say, Mariners' history, John Boy does a phenomenal documentary on that. A phenomenal documentary. 4 hours long on the history of the Mariners. It's really well done. So I would say for Mariners stuff, go check that out. If I can find anything weird and wacky, I would absolutely do that. But he covered a lot of it. Perez. Pressure, has to throw it into dirt. Was there a guy in the area? Letty Brown was in the area. So I think they're going to get away with no intentional grounding on the play. Yeah, Brown was in the area. Letty Brown was in the area. Even though he was not acting as a receiver, he was acting as a blocker. So second down. Right around the 23-yard line. Letty Brown in the backfield, or 24-yard line, rather. Out route on the play action. It's caught. First down and a bit more. Out at the 36-yard line. Looking for a late hit. Not going to get it. Catch on the play there made by Tyler Vaughns. Oh, the plane video is his best. The plane video is his best. I was going to do a video on that too. A while ago, because that was a very, very interesting story, but I could not do it the way he did it. So when I saw he was doing that, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be good. I mean, that was insane. And with the Google Earth, the 3D model to simulate the plane as the as the game was happening. That was so well done. So well done. Thoughts on the Domingo Germán thing yesterday? He pitched a great game, but it is bizarre. It is bizarre how that all happened. He was checked and then didn't get ejected. I mean, just got to be consistent. Just got to be consistent one way or the other with the umps. Just got to be consistent. When will JG9 be on clickbait? Look, if they ever want me on clickbait, I am totally down. Look, if they ever want me, I am totally down. Yeah, I've been on Grossi's show. He's great. I've been on Tree's show and Dumpster Fire with 5 Point. They're both great. So, I have a feeling at some point it's going to happen. At some point I feel like it's going to happen. So we'll see. Surprise team in the USFL this season is the Michigan Panthers. After what I saw last season, keep an eye on them. You mean Memphis? Because Michigan's playing right now. I mean, if Michigan's your surprise team, then that's one thing, but Michigan's playing right now. So they didn't really do anything yesterday. Look good so far, though. They're up 6-0. Up 6-0. I will say the Houston Gamblers logo, helmet logo, is incredible. I love that logo. Oh, Doug Peterson's at the game. Whoa, Doug Peterson. He's doing some scouting at the USFL. All right. XFL Arlington Renegade for me, USFL not for me. Completely get it. But the USFL has alienated some people. Tough question to rank the clickbait guys. Ooh. Ooh, man. Rank the clickbait. All right. In terms, Rossi, Tree, 5 Point. That's good. Scooter. Let's go with that. I feel pretty confident about that. So much I love clickbait. The new format's kind of wonky. I've always enjoyed their banner search. I mean, I get it to some extent. During football season, I think they're going to go back to what they used to have. I think they're going back to what they used to have during football season. But during the offseason, I mean, they're basically all football. They're basically, like, Brandon's all football, Scooter is pretty much all football, Grossi's all football. Tree and 5 Point are really the only two that do other sports. So you can't really do anything during the offseason with the it's tough to keep a show going during the offseason with the NFL like that. So, I get it. Because that show kind of does go off the rails sometimes. It absolutely does go off the rails. I'm not a Patreon member, but I have an idea for a future GG Dive vid about the 1981 Montreal Alouettes where they had the high-priced NFL talent and it went horribly wrong. I do remember that. I might do a story on that. I do remember that. They signed a lot of guys. So I know Tom Cousineau spurned the NFL to join the CFL. It was a wasted pick by the Bills. Arlington Renegades all the way. 1st and 10 at 35. We are back after the injury timeout. Bubble screen. It's caught. Big shot there, but Rennell Hall gets a solid 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3. Francis Bernard on the hit. I've called this name a few times today. He's got like 4 tackles already. They're going quick to the line. There's single coverage up top. Let's see if they try it. There's single coverage up top. Will they take advantage of it? Play action. Yep, they're going for it. They're going for a back shoulder throw. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass intended for Nate Becker. They had the matchup tight end on corner. They saw the single coverage on top. Call me Tony Romo with how I called that one. And that was too obvious, but just a bad throw by Perez. You got to take advantage of that. One-on-one single coverage with a tight end on the quarterback. You got to do that. Oh yeah, Billy Whitchie Johnson was on that team. I forget he played in the CFL. One of the best return men in the history of football. I'd have no problem putting him in the Hall of Fame. I really wouldn't. Here we go. 3rd and 3. Perez going deep. He's got no one. Incomplete pass. Brandon Arconado, the intended target. The Steelers drafting a QB to play DB seems like most Steelers thing to do. I just love Oh, yeah, all the lemons being there. The snake is starting. That snake's going to be very big. That snake is going to be very, very big because they ain't cutting off beer sales. They're not cutting off beer sales for a 12 o'clock game. The whole thing about the Bill Nelson thing, that might be one of my favorite stories I've ever looked at. Because just the idea, as the play clock runs down to 2, and DC has to burn a timeout. The dudes are wonder, they had 2nd and 3, and they called 2 straight passing plays. But the whole thing about the DC thing, which is just bonkers to me. Not DC, the Bill Nelson DB thing. That's what I meant, the DB thing. Is that at no point did their head coach realize that they drafted the quarterback on USC, the national champion Rose Bowl quarterback. At no point did they realize that. He thought, oh, we drafted a defensive back. Just a bizarre story. Not even the strangest story. That is a stranger story with the Steelers draft, but I've got one more I might be able to do a video on. Marquette King with the punt on 4th and 3. You can see how much the wind is. That just sailed. The curve on that one. That was like my golf shot. And there's a penalty on the defender, so they call timeout because of the confusion, and then they have an illegal number of players on the field. So it's a first down for the Renegades. What a terrible start to this game for Arlington defensively in terms of their discipline. 3 penalties on the first drive. They have to burn a timeout because they had too many men on, and then they still have too many men on the field. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. DC with 4 penalties on defense already this game. Yeah, NFL, AFL in the 60s was just a sitcom. It really was. So many great stories. And if the footage exists, I could do so many videos on that. Lenny Brown, over the middle, gain of 9 on the play. Bernard and Northrup in on the tackle. What happened to the other 2 teams for the XFL? New York, the Guardians, they moved to Orlando, and Tampa moved to Vegas. Oh, the Wildcats? Oh, they folded. They folded. They don't exist. They're in DC territory. 2nd and 1. Handoff. Up the middle. Northrup blows it up. No gain on the play. Maybe even lost a yard. Lenny Brown. What can Brown do for you? Not a whole lot. Greg Williams and an undisciplined defense team, a more iconic duo. Yeah. The Wildcats market never made any sense. They were getting no one. They were playing in the suburbs of Los Angeles. That market never made any sense. That was really the one misfire that the XFL had with their markets. They got nobody. They got nobody at the games. The branding was bad. They got literally nobody at the games. Option play, Perez jukes him out of his shoes. Or that's actually Bryant. 30, 25, 20, out of the 19-yard line. It is Kelly Bryant coming in for that option play. Gain of 24 yards on the play. Jukes Northrup out of his shoes. Northrup had a great play on the last one. But juked out of his shoes there. Forced out of bounds eventually. But not before a gain of 24. Yeah, look, the NFL struggles in LA to some extent getting fans, and that's the NFL. XFL is like the 8th fiddle in LA. You're not getting anyone. Now you got to get them in the suburbs, too. They run the option again. Rennell Hall. This one goes nowhere. Fatal Brown on the tackle. That's why some of these markets, I think to myself, you have to get people to spend their entertainment dollar. You can't go to competitive markets. LA is the most competitive market. They are the most competitive market out there. Can they come back for next season? They can. They won't. They're not coming back. Would I consider LA more of a basketball city than any other sport? Ooh, that's close. 2nd 10, play action. In the flat, he's got his man, but nothing doing. Great low tackle there. Caught by Javonte Payton. Tackle on the play there made by Joseph. Michael Joseph. Absolutely nowhere. It's either basketball or baseball. I don't know. LA never made sense for the NFL. Oh, they have 6 billion reasons why. I mean, SoFi. The market for TV deals, I mean, it makes complete sense. They never... 2 teams, maybe not. 2 teams is not. But the Rams never should have left LA in the first place. I feel bad for St. Louis. They never should have left in the first place. Perez goes down on the sack. Perez goes down. Who else? Francis Bernard. Have yourself a day. Big sack. They're still in field goal range for Taylor Russolino. Down on the play. 27-yard line. Francis Bernard. He has been all over the place today. 44-yard attempt for Russolino. Hit earlier in the game. Can he hit this one? King the hold. It's no good. Curls to the left. Curls to the left. Russolino, for just the 3rd time this season, misses a field goal, and the defenders take over. The defenders take over. So DC survives after a critical 4th down penalty. How's it going? It's going well. It's going well. I got up not even an hour ago so we could live stream this, and it's going well. Been a decent game so far, Arlington, DC. It should be a fun day. Should be a fun day. 6 hours of streaming. I'm ready for it. Jordan Tammy, 1st down. Play action. Tipped at the line. USFL update. Another missed PAT. Yeah, this is why I don't like the PAT rule in minor league football. It's just boring, and the special teams play is not up to par. It never is in these leagues. That's why I've been impressed with the XFL. The special teams play the second half of the season has been very good. Once again, batted down at the line. Back-to-back bat downs. Willie Taylor III. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. It's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up after this commercial break. 6-3. Clippers and Chargers have one thing in common. LAC stands for lacking a championship. That's good. I've actually never heard that one before. That is really good. It explains why LA doesn't even recognize the Angels as an LA team. I mean, to be fair, they're not an LA team. They're an Anaheim team. To be fair, they're in Anaheim. And with traffic in LA, that might as well be 5 hours away. I can't really... They literally play in Anaheim. That's why there was a whole uproar when the Rams moved from LA to Anaheim. Chargers ever should have left San Diego? I completely agree. Spanos destroyed that team. That fan base did not deserve that whatsoever. All right, so in terms of... So while we have this commercial break, in terms of what's happening on JG9, a new video just dropped. New video dropped earlier today. I talked about a player on the Seattle Seahawks, or not on the Seattle Seahawks, wide receiver drafted by the Colts, who was very, very confused because he thought that the Seahawks drafted him. So, will I do USFL live streams? Yes. Week 4 is when I'm going to start those. Can't do it this week. Next week, I can't do it because of the XFL overlap. Can't do it week 3 because of the NFL draft, but week 4 I will be able to do it. If I own the Angels, I just change their name to Anaheim Angels. They used to be the Anaheim Angels. I think it's just for like the international branding. More people know about LA than Anaheim, so it makes it sound cooler. It's easier to attract free agents and say we play in Los Angeles versus we play in Anaheim. Even though it doesn't really change anything, but... I vividly remember a random moment earlier this season when he moved the ball on the scoreboard to the wrong team. Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me if I did that. I do not remember. I've been streaming a ton, so I do not remember that. But yeah, sometimes I goof on the scoreboard. Sometimes I goof very badly on the scoreboard. But if there's anything, by the way, you want to see for the USFL scoreboard or the scoreboard for NFL when we do those streams, let me know. Because I'm doing this partly as a dry run for the Monday Night Football streams, which are going to be so much fun. Why does New York do well with 2+ teams in a sport but not LA? I think part of it is that New York has always had 2 teams to some extent, so the history is just ingrained in that. New York population-wise is huge. New York sports media is way crazier than LA sports media, so that plays a part. I think also New York is massive. Like the 2 teams, they basically play in different areas. Obviously not Giants and Jets, but it used to be that way. Giants played in Jersey and the Jets played at Shea Stadium. Yankee Stadium and Shea Stadium are like an hour away from each other. Or Citi Field, rather, where they are now. Like the Mets are way easier to get to than the Yankees. It takes about an hour longer to go to a Yankee game than it does a Met game from the same exact spot. So, I think that's part of why. Curl route goes incomplete to a quick 3 and out. 3 straight incomplete passes by Jordan Tamu. And they're going to have to punt this one away. It's thanks to you, True, that I find off-the-field things just as if not more interesting than on the field. Yeah, sometimes the off-the-field stuff is crazy. Sometimes you get some really good stuff off the field. It's part of the channel. Part of the beauty of this channel, too. So much off-the-field craziness. The punt by Daniel Whelan. It's a high one. It's fielded at the 20-yard line. Nice hang time on that one. And they're all over it. That is beautiful hang time. And the defenders get down there. Tackle on the play. They're made. I don't have an 80 on my depth chart. But it was number 80 on the tackle. But I don't have an 80. So my apologies for that. Oh, no. Actually, the long snapper. Really, the long snapper. Trey Barry. Really? The long snapper got all the way down there and made that tackle. That is amazing. That is an incredible special teams play. Absolutely incredible special teams play. So 1st and 10 around the 20-yard line. More people in the stream than Chargers fans. Maybe LA Chargers fans, but not San Diego. Handoff goes to Letty Brown. So they haven't given that to Smith lately. It's been Brown getting bulk of the work. He's got 4 yards on that one. I want to see, as we have an injured defender on the field. Looks like Kentrell Bryce is the injured man with 14:02 left. More likely the A's reach a deal of stay in Oakland or the Chargers move back to San Diego. I would say because of SoFi, $6 billion stadium, and because of Spanos, I think the A's reach a deal of stay in Oakland is more likely. I don't think either are likely, but I think that the A's deal is more likely. Do you see what the A's are doing? They're having a reverse boycott game. Kind of genius. They're having a game, it's like a Tuesday night game against the Rays in June. And the idea is we're going to reverse boycott the team. We're going to pack the stands to show that we can support a team. I think it's genius. Which sports team would I consider the most unlucky? Let's think. Let me think. 2nd and 7. Say Buffalo. Curl route over the middle. It's caught. Did he get the first down? It's Becker on the grab. Is it enough for the first down? Cleveland's got a title. Cleveland's got titles. I can't really call Cleveland unlucky. They won the lottery for years. They do not have a first down. They won the draft lottery for years. They have some titles. San Diego, yeah. But I would say Buffalo. Losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. Sabres, I mean, they've had some rotten luck. Handoff up the middle. I think he's short. They're going to mark him in the line of scrimmage. It's Letty Brown. And he did not get the first down. We'll see what Stoops decides to do. Is he going to gamble? Went to Kelly Bryant. Running the option play. Oh, don't even tell me they're going to challenge that. He was clearly short. Don't even tell me they're going to challenge the spot. They're talking with the ref. He was clearly short. I don't know what the discussion is that Stoops is having right now. I don't know what the argument is. He had to get to the 31. He did not come close. 4th and 1. Will they go for it? They need an inch. And I think it looks like they're going to punt this one away. Marquette King is back there. They're punting this away. Thoughts on MLB in Salt Lake? I think it's a terrible idea. Too cold because they're building an outdoor stadium, according to the Red Wings. Too cold, not a big market. You can't play games on Sundays. It would be terrible. It would just be a horrible idea. They don't have a big TV market. Don't have a big population. Everything about it screams bad idea. Marquette King going to have to punt this one away on 4th and 1. It's a booming kick, fielded at the 19-yard line. The 25. Down at the 29-yard line. So that is where DC will take over a 49-yard punt net-wise. Excuse me, a 41-yard punt net-wise. DC taking over after back-to-back drives by both teams going 3 and out. Stoops they blew the whistle early in his opinion. Oh, that's why. I don't know. He was short. He was absolutely short. I don't think they didn't blow the whistle too early. He got nothing. There was no second effort. He got nothing. I don't know what the complaint is. Handoff goes to the side. It's Abram Smith. Abram Smith bounces off the guy, but doesn't get anything else after that. Back to the line of scrimmage. He goes Budmi Rotimi on the tackle. I don't know why they're showing number 4. It was 44 who made the tackle. It was Rotimi. Second down. I want to see the defenders do well, but also want to see Luis Perez do well. So you want a high-scoring game. And only team in Charlotte. I don't think Raleigh would be able to support. Charlotte absolutely would. Tamu, curl route, or comeback route rather. It is caught at the 39-yard line by Lucky Jackson. There was a flag on the play. Best MLB Stadium, Camden Yards. Citi Field's also great, but Camden Yards is beautiful. Having said that, I don't know anymore because they moved the wall. I don't like what they did with the left field wall. But Camden Yards is just beautiful. It changed the game forever, and it still holds up to this day. The Jazz do not play home games on Sundays. No. Automatic first down for illegal contact? No, I don't think it's bad. I have no problem with it. Is Abram Smith NFL ready? He reminds me of Philip Lindsay. I mean, he's looked good. He's looked very good. I'm very surprised about how good the Pirates are. Yes, so am I. McCutcheon's having a resurgence. Play action. Jordan looking deep. And now just goes to the first down man. He's got it. Ethan Wolf, hungry like the wolf for a first down at the 43-yard line of Arlington. I've never been to PNC, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. PNC, but I've never been. Ballparks I've been to, let's see, Yankee, Shea, New Yankee, Citi Field. So we have an injured player and a flag. So we'll see what this is. As things stand, it's DC Bowl in Arlington territory. Been to Camden. I've been to Citizens Bank. I've been to Busch, Chase Field, Dodger Stadium, Progressive Field. I think that's all. Beer brats and grasshoppers are reviews all the same. My cousin actually wrote the book. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I would love to write a book like that about like just stadium tours and whatnot. I would love to do that. But that's incredible. I'll see what I can do. That's awesome. Why is it the NFL replica jersey is $79, the USFL jersey is $89, the XFL jersey is $189? They're made by the same company. Can someone please explain to me why the difference in the price? Probably because the XFL doesn't have the shipping capabilities that the NFL does. So they have to get the cost higher because of that. Any less well-known world sports you have an interest in? I used to, when they have the ESPN Plus deal, not anymore, but I used to love watching T20 cricket. Used to love watching that. Rugby Sevens, I also really like watching that. USA, Carlin Islands, Perry Baker. I mean, very good. Very good. I love Target Field so much better than the Super Metrodome. I mean, anything is better than the Metrodome. Let's call it what it is. Anything is better than the Metrodome. Absolutely terrible venue. Served its purpose. It hosted every sport. It was active every day of the year, but a terrible, terrible venue. Let's call it for what it is. I'm just adjusting my monitors. My apologies for this. USFL at 89, I'm not sure. XFL at 189, I can easily explain that the reason for that is because they have to keep it high, because otherwise they will not, they'd lose money on shipping costs and whatnot. Because they don't have the factories and whatnot to do it. PDC darts fan. Ooh. I've been at Citizens Bank. People think it's small on TV. It's much smaller in person. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, T20's decent, yeah. Just like a very party atmosphere. Very party atmosphere, at least the Caribbean series. I remember going to a Twins game when I was 6 and being in the Metrodome for a baseball game just didn't feel right. Yeah, it never looked right. The tiebreaker game was great. All-time classic, but... So 11:26 left. After the stoppage following the injured player. Just had to activate one of my monitors. Had to do the activation thing because I didn't register. Second down, handoff goes to Smith up the middle. 1st and 15. Oh, so there was a... Okay, wait, they did not explain that at all because they never said what the penalty was. So the pass to Wolf did not count. Yeah, they did not explain that at all. Pass to Wolf did not count. It's a penalty on the play, 5-yard penalty. So now it's 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line. And it's almost intercepted. It is almost intercepted, but there was another flag on the play. A lot of dirty laundry this game. Pass broken up by Joe Powell. Lucky Jackson indicating that this is on the Renegades, but we will see. We will see what the call is. Pass interference on the defense. Where? Where was the PI? At least from that angle, I didn't see anything. Oh, it came at the top of the route. Okay. Came at the top of the route. That's why. So they have it at the 41-yard line. All right. Play action. Jordan going deep. Taking another shot down the field. It is bobbled. Did he get it in? I don't think he did. Brandon Smith, I think he bobbled it and could not maintain possession. LB team is the most unlucky history. Oh, no, he got it. He got it. He got it. That is going to be overturned. That is going to be overturned. That is absolutely going to be overturned. Smith got a foot in. That is absolutely a catch. I mean, I think the Cubs have the most unlucky. The Cubs have. I know they won, but I know they won in 2016, but come on. The Cubs' history is cursed. Yeah, Blandino, I think it's going to this is going to get overturned. This is absolutely a catch. Brandon Smith with a great grab. He bobbled it. Tamu led him perfectly. Brandon Smith bobbles the ball, but ends up maintaining possession at the end of the day. And a huge gain. A huge gain of 37 yards, longest play of the day. Moves the ball all the way up to just outside the red zone to the 22-yard line of Arlington. Armstead, the lone back. Got three bunched up. It's a swing pass to Raquel Armstead, the former Jaguar. At the 20, out at around the 15-yard line. So gain of 7 on the play. An XFL team here in KC, even though the Chiefs run this down even more than the Royals. I'm not sure how many people would show for cold weather for minor league football. On top of that, oh yeah, that was a great documentary. Great documentary by ESPN. But on top of that, with KC, you have the Royals, you have Sporting KC. It's a pretty competitive market. Now, if you play where Sporting play, plus you have the current. The current draw, very good crowds now. Beautiful throw into the end zone. Lucky Jackson. He is lucky with that one. He is a star. And DC with a 12-3 lead. Beautiful throw into the end zone for Lucky Jackson. DC looking very good. Single coverage between Darren Evans and Lucky Jackson, one of the top receivers on the XFL. You knew how that was going to go. 2-point try to make it a 2-possession game. They could go for 1 and try to make it a 2-possession game, but they are going to go for 2. As of now, it's still a 1-possession game. 9:27 left. We have the big game coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern, St. Louis, Seattle, for pretty much the North Division playoff spot. Out route, that is dropped. Ooh, he had it too. Brandon Smith. Oh no, excuse me. It was not Brandon Smith. It was Alex Ellis, the tight end, but there was a flag on the play. Another flag. This feels like the 10th flag of the game. Next year's in Detroit. Next year is in Detroit. We'll see what this flag is. Tamu staying out on the field. There is no foul on the play. So an unsuccessful try. They lost 11 finals since '89. Have they at least won a final? If they've never won a final, then yeah, that's unlucky. All hail the beer sake. Jordan Tamu looking very, very good so far. Very, very good. 7 for 10, 125, 2 touchdowns, no picks, playing a very smart, clean, efficient game. Again, DC wins this game and Seattle wins their game. DC has got the number 1 seed locked up. They can rest their guys going into the final week of the season. So if you're a San Antonio fan, obviously you're rooting for DC this game, and you are absolutely rooting for Seattle to beat St. Louis so that DC has nothing to play for next week against the Brahmas. Because the Brahmas have to win out, and the Renegades have to lose out, and then some wacky stuff has happened in the tiebreakers. They're not doing a Bartman appreciation thing. They're not doing a Bartman. So it turns out what happened there, that was never supposed to... Oh, the last one was 1951. They've lost 11 finals. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right, that's just... Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unlucky. Oh, man. That has to stink. Jeez. All right. So the thing with Barman Appreciation, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. My guess is that they came up with a mock graphic and just to experiment with some ideas, and then what happened was they accidentally sent out the graphic. If the MLB season were to end today, so where's the NL MVP? Ooh, if it ended today, I'd probably say so. And today, Rasmussen would get my vote for AL Cy Young. Yeah, NL MVP is going to be a very close race. A very, very close race. You know, someone goofed up. That's what someone messed up big time. That was never supposed to happen. It was never supposed to happen. Someone messed up big time. Yeah, I don't know who to give my vote for AL MVP, for NL MVP right now. I don't know. Freddie Freeman's looked amazing. Freddie Freeman has looked amazing. So, he'd be up there. He'll be up there. Welcoming Arson Judge. What a great moment in history. Down to the 34-yard line. On 12 hours of the cigarette, want to make it to halftime. This is a 556 OBP. Oh, I forgot it was just the second quarter. My apologies on that. I told you, sometimes goof up with the score pretty badly. Pretty badly. All right, first down for the Renegades. Down by one possession, but offense has been stalling after a great drive. The opening drive that only ended with 3 points after getting stuffed at the 1-yard line. At the 35-yard line, play action. Perez. He's got time. He's going to look to scramble, and he gets about a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Held up there by Jacob Panasiuk. What was the last time the NFL had a game where there was a score of 4 during the game, but not as a final score? I'm probably back in the 40s. It has not been for a while. Why is this game so early? Because of the NBA is my guess. They want to get the games on ESPN. So you have the doubleheader early on, and then you can do the NBA playoffs on ESPN tonight. That's my guess. That pass is caught by Winningham, who I guess or by Caleb Van Der Esch. Caleb Van Der Esch on the ground. My apologies. 3rd and 6. Well, around the 40-yard line. What say do you think will be the next to get a new team in each of the Big 5 U.S. leagues? All right, let me think about that. At the 39-yard line. Looking for Winningham. He's got him on the curl route and down at the 47-yard line. So first down on the play for the Renegades. A big first down brought down by Michael Joseph. Gain of 8 on the play. Good for a first down. Originally 21 had 4 points in a quarter. Yeah, the teams that get guys who safeties, but I'm thinking like they had 4 on the scoreboard. I can't think of the last time that's happened. Coach was talking about playoffs. Jim Mora, ineligible men or 12 men on the field on the defense. Another penalty On the defense, Reggie Barlow's defense has been getting really undisciplined penalties. 12 men on the field. Very undisciplined today. What city do you think will be the next good new team? Vegas for NBA, NHL, Houston, NFL, International, I think it's London, and MLB, Charlotte. Down at the 34-yard line, so gain a 14 on the play. Catch there made by Sal Cannella. How do you score 1-point safety? It is very, very tough. It's almost impossible. I think what would have to happen so you throw, let's say you throw a pick into the end zone on the conversion, the guy takes it out and then runs back into the end zone. I think that's what has to happen. It is very, very tough. It's never happened in the NFL. 2nd and 1 at the 9, or gain him 9, 2nd and 1 at the 25-yard line. Slant route on the play action, it's caught, 10, 5, breaks a tackle! Terrible tackling by the defenders, and Caleb Vander Esch, CVE with the TD. And just like that, the Renegades answer with 6:26 left in the first half. Caleb Vander Esch, it was a play-action slant pass set up for the bubble screen, then a Vander Esch, and then I don't know what that tackling was. 3 broken tackles. Francis Burr caught out of position, and no one able to bring down Caleb Vander Esch. Seattle and Vegas, yeah, they'd start at the same time. So, yeah. 3-point game. They're going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Low snap. And Perez just has to eat it. Perez just has to eat it. So 12-9 ball game, 6:26 left. Would make a dumb decisions if it happened? Probably not, because it wouldn't be a bad coaching move. I think the NFL one, I actually think the NFL one is, you have to, it gets picked off, the guy returns it the other way. Yeah, it is extremely tough. I think it's what happened with the Fiesta Bowl. The tackling was like when the Titans failed miserably to tackle Mahomes for that one massive rushing touchdown. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Besides Georgia TCU, because, yeah, that would have absolutely happened. What CFB title game since 98 would have been 4-game sweeps? That's a good question. Because we talked about this with the Super Bowl. Obviously, TCU Georgia would have been a 4-game sweep. It would not have even been close. So let's think. Let's think. What games would have been 4-game sweeps? Let's kick off is fielded at the 4-yard line. 12-9 game. It turned out to the 22-yard line. It's Puka Williams on the return. First to the 22. All right, so let's think of this. Tennessee, FSU, no. Florida State, Virginia Tech, maybe. But I think VT probably takes one. Vic probably goes off one of those games. Oklahoma, Florida State, no. Miami, Nebraska, no. Ohio State, Miami, definitely not. LSU, Oklahoma, no. USC, Oklahoma, maybe, but I think the Steelers take one. Texas, USC, no way. Florida, Ohio State, no way. LSU, Ohio State, no. Florida, Oklahoma, no. Auburn, Oregon, no. Alabama, Texas. Okay, Bama, Texas. Is McCoy out? Is McCoy out? That's the question. With Bama, Texas, is Colt McCoy out? Are we saying he got injured in the... Because he got injured in that game. Are we saying he's out? Because if he's out, I got Bama in the 4-game sweep. De'Ara King in at quarterback. Juke's man out of his shoes. Juke's 2 guys out of his shoes. Gets down to the 32-yard line. A nice run there by King. They bring him in for some versatility. Miami would rock Nebraska in 4. See, I think Nebraska probably takes 1. 4-game sweep in college is tough. 4-game sweep in college is awfully, awfully tough. A 3rd and 2. 31-yard line. Where the game that happened is game 1. So are we assuming McCoy will be out for games 2, 3, and 4? Or are we assuming full roster? That's really the question. And they're going to say he got the first down. So De'Ara King is in. Picks up the first down around the 33-yard line. So that changes a lot. I think Bama Notre Dame would have been, absolutely. Bama Notre Dame would have been a 4-game sweep. Bama Ohio State also would have been a 4-game sweep. Ohio State had no business being in that playoff even. They did not deserve to win the Big Ten that year. I think Trevor Lawrence is good enough that he would take 1 off LSU. So I would say Ohio State Oregon's close. I think Oregon probably takes 1. So I would say 3 of them would have been. I think obviously Georgia, TCU would have been. De'Ara King throwing. He's got a man into the sideline. It's caught. It is caught by Josh Hammond. First down for the defenders into Arlington territory. So I'm going to say Bama Notre Dame for sure. Bama Notre Dame absolutely would have been. Georgia TCU would have been. And Alabama Ohio State in the COVID year, I think would have been. FSU Auburn? No, I don't think so. Ohio State Oregon probably would have gone 5. Second and 8, the 40-yard line. De'Ara King still in the game. Fires on the run, incomplete, intended for Chris Blair. So 3rd and 8. And Jordan Tamu had 2 touchdown passes, has had a great first half. They're bringing King in, though, for this drive. We've seen some teams do this. We saw Orlando do this yesterday, where Dormady was playing well. They took him out for a bit to bring in Francois. Yeah, I think Oregon wins at least 1 or 2. Ohio State probably wins it in the end, but I think Oregon takes at least 1. 3rd and 8, the 40. King, slant route. It is caught. Absorbs the contact, and a great catch there by Chris Blair. Coverage on the play by Devontae Busby. Good enough for a first down. De'Ara King has the defenders moving in the right direction here. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think Miami, Nebraska would have been. Now that I think about it, Miami, Nebraska would have been. March Madness finals are best of 7. I think UConn, San Diego State would have been a one of those. 2-minute warning. We officially hit the 2-minute warning. They blow a flag, but I think it's just a 2-minute warning. And March Madness finals since 2000. Let's think. All right, since 2000. That's a lot tougher in basketball because basketball is a very streaky sport. Basketball is a lot tougher. Where to say they'd win, they'd sweep, they need to be clearly superior. Like height advantage, they need everything. I think Connecticut against San Diego State fits that bill completely. Where it just looked like a different class. Butler had no business being in the final in 2011, so UConn Butler also probably could have been one. Nova Michigan looked like a complete mismatch. I would say those three. Maybe Michigan State, Florida. But that seems like a pretty... It's a lot tougher in basketball. It's a lot tougher. UConn Butler would have been, I think. Yeah, I think UConn Butler, UConn San Diego State would have been as well. Those were just mismatches from the start. How the heck was Atlanta able to host the Olympics back in the day? Because they have a giant airport, and they spent a crazy amount of money to build stadiums. I wish I could have gone to those Olympics. Then again, I was -1, but I'll probably be at the Olympics in LA. There's no reason not to be. Once in a lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime chance. UConn Georgia Tech? Close. I don't think so. Yeah, 90s just seemed like a great time for American sports. 94 World Cup, 96 Olympics. Like, you were living. You were living back then. We kind of get that in a bit with the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics. Why isn't New York City hosted some games? They put in a bid, it failed. You don't have a stadium. You need a stadium in New York. You can't do it in East Rutherford. And getting that is tough. It would be a nightmare. New York would be an absolute nightmare. They can barely do mass transport as it is and transportation as it is. It's a mess. Add the Olympics into that, it would just be a zoo. It would just be a construction zone over and over. It'd be terrible. Plus, it wouldn't really be in the city. You couldn't really do it in the city. You have to do it surrounding the city. It wouldn't be a good experience. First attempt at the 27-yard line. De'Ara King. Play action. Slant route. Wide open 10. Down at the 8-yard line. Brandon Smith. His second catch of the game. First goal at the 8. They're getting torched on that slant route. 19-yard gain. Easy pitch and catch. DC has 2 timeouts. Arlington has all 3. You have to think, if you're Arlington, you start calling timeout. 15 Hawks most random ones. Yeah. Like, no one was giving them a shot. No one was giving them a shot that year. Like, if I'm Arlington, I'm calling timeout if I'm Arlington. Because I want the ball back. Handoff goes to Abram. Abram down at the 5-yard line. Like, if you're Bob Stoops, why are you not calling timeout? This is what I mean when I say I think Bob Stoops is phoning it in the XFL. He's not this bad of a coach. Why are you not calling timeout if you're Bob Stoops? You want the ball back. You don't get the ball to start the half. You don't get the ball. DC gets the ball. They're fine taking their sweet time. Arlington should have been calling timeout the moment that DC got first and goal. And they should have been calling timeout the moment that play happened. Now you're going to have less time to work with when you get this ball back. De'Ara King scrambles, fires, end zone. He's open. Touchdown. Touchdown defenders. It is Lucky Jackson. For the second time today, he's feeling lucky. For the second time today, he feels lucky. 18-9 ball game. But then again, you want to talk about bad coaching by Bob Stoops. You call the timeout after they get first and goal and call timeout after that other running play. You're getting the ball back with 1:50 left. Now you're getting it with 46 seconds left. You have 1 less minute to work with because you decided not to burn any timeouts. For no reason. I'll tell you, Bob Stoops is phoning it in. So that is horrible coaching. King fires. Complete. Jazz Ferguson. De'Ara King comes in for Jordan Ta'amu, and there's no difference whatsoever. 3 passing touchdowns for the defenders this half, 20-9 ball game, and you have to question the clock management skills by Bob Stoops, now only having 46 seconds to work with. Again, DC gets the ball to start the second half. This one could get ugly fast if they are not careful. Yeah, Stoops just wants the extra cash. I think so. He's not this bad of a coach. I know it. He knows it. He's not this bad of a coach. This is terrible clock management. Yeah, the Rugby World Cup in 2031. I forgot about that. Would Chicago be good for the Olympics? Probably not. Probably not. Is Washington State-Oregon a rivalry? I would say so, yeah. Not a crazy rivalry, but it's a rivalry. 20-9 ball game, kicking off to the Renegades. Again, remember, DC gets the ball to start the second half. I have no clue why there's 46 seconds left and not about a minute 40. I have no clue. Bob Stoops completely whiffed on that clock management. And we'll see if it comes back to bite the Renegades here, as the kickoff is returned to the 29-yard line. They got to go quickly. They have 3 timeouts. The clock stops on incomplete passes and out-of-bounds plays, but they do have to go quickly. This is also a good test run for the XFL and the USFL, because I did say yesterday that USFL has to figure out the pace of play. XFL and USFL started the games at the exact same time today. Right now, there's 1:55 left in the first half of Michigan-Houston. There's 40 seconds left in this one. So right now, we're doing all right. Right now, the games are exactly the same pace. We'll see what happens in a bit. First at the 30-yard line. Perez. They motion Letty Brown. I don't know why Smith is not in lately. But swing pass goes to Brown. He stumbles. Gain of 3 on the play. Oh, and now Stoops calls a timeout. Now he remembers those exist. But there was a flag on this play. There was a flag on this play. A lot of dirty laundry this game. We'll see what the call is. Rugby World Cup is in the fall because isn't it 6 nations in the spring? I think that's probably why. We'll see what this penalty is. Personal foul. Illegal crackback block on the Renegades. Was Stoops saving the timeouts for store credit? I don't know what he was doing. They did delay the broadcast on NBC. All right, so we're right on pace then. Yeah, I don't know what Stoops is doing. But now I don't even know if you call any plays because you got 1st and 25. And now you might give the ball back to DC. I don't know what you do here. Just terrible all the way around. You're at the 16-yard line. 34 seconds left. 1st and a country mile. Perez drops back, gets hit on the play, out route, it's caught. Out at the 24-yard line. Sal Canella, gain of 8 on the play. And now you have to wonder if you're DC. 2nd down and 17. You got to stop here. You have 2 timeouts. You can maybe send the Hounds on a block punt or something like that if it comes to that. And again, you do get the ball to start the second half, so you might not want to risk anything. But you never know. You never know. 2nd and 16. See what they do here. Perez. So get it quickly off to Letty Brown. Brown at the 33-yard line. Gain him 9 on the play. And clock is stopped. Who called the timeout? I believe Arlington called the timeout. Was the metronome the worst Olympic Stadium ever? No. No, not even close. It was bad, don't get me wrong. Olympic Stadium was dumb. Olympic Stadium. Exhibition Stadium. I mean, the sight lines and the seats for that were just laughably bad. I don't know who had the genius idea of building the stadium the way that it was. That was a terrible, terrible stadium. The Olympic Stadium was just terrible. Candlestick Park was also pretty bad. Bud Selig has spoken many times about how he froze his butt off at that stadium, because they did not build it in a smart way. 3rd and 7. 19 seconds left. Veterans was just your typical cookie cutter stadium. Veterans was bad, but it was just your typical cookie cutter. Just like Three Rivers, just like Riverfront. 3rd and 7. Perez fires over the middle. It's caught. It is caught by Sal Cannella at the 47-yard line. They call timeout. Will they have enough time? They only have 1 timeout left. You maybe have 2 plays before you have to kick the field goal. Again, we have to harp on it. With 1:40 left, DC at 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Arlington had 3 timeouts, and they decided not to burn them. They saved them for some reason. And they might not have enough time to do their thing. Did Bud Selig have a least favorite? He hated Olympic Stadium. He thought Olympic was just terrible. Not sure if he had a least favorite, but the cookie cutters he hated, but he especially hated Olympic Stadium. That was a dumb. 1st and 10 for 13. Perez, he goes down. He goes down the 39-yard line. He goes down. Karan Reed with the sack. Number 97, Karan Reed with the sack. Along with number 48, Andre Mincy. 7 seconds left. Arlington burns their final timeout. Yeah, amazing that USFL got to halftime first. I'm actually shocked. I mean, then again, this game has been a penalty fest like crazy, but I'm actually kind of shocked. 2nd and 17. Greg Williams doing something he doesn't do. He's playing prevent. He's only rushing 4. I don't believe it. Greg Williams is learning. Over the middle, it's caught by Cannella, and that will take us to the end of the half. Horrible clock management by Arlington, and the defenders take a 20-9 lead. And they get the ball to start the second half. San Antonio is feeling very, very good right now. Again, they need Arlington to lose this game. And just a reminder of what's at stake. Let's talk for a brief moment what's at stake. Arlington. If they win this game, they're in. The South Division is over. If they lose this game, Week 10, it comes down to Arlington and San Antonio. Arlington plays Houston. And Houston, I think, would... Problem is, I think Houston, they'll have home field locked up. They'll have the number 1 seed locked up. I think they would rather play Arlington versus San Antonio, because San Antonio, aside from that, they've just been playing a lot better lately. Arlington's offense is terrible. And San Antonio, I think, is the number 1 defense in the XFL somehow. And that game was close, went to OT, so I think Houston would rather play Arlington. So they might rest their guys for that one, take a de facto bye week. San Antonio plays DC, who will have nothing to play for if DC wins this game, and Seattle beats St. Louis. But the big one, the absolute big one, is coming up after this stream is done on ESPN. And we'll be live streaming that'll be on a separate live stream. So keep that in mind. We'll be on a separate live stream, so we'll exit out of this stream, and we'll do another live stream between St. Louis and Seattle. That is the big kahuna. 3 o'clock Eastern. One of those teams is going to miss the playoffs. Huge, huge games between 2 of the top teams in the XFL. So I have a favorite sim. He loved Camden Yards. Thinks Camden's amazing. No cover 0. Yep, no cover 0. Arlington O-line. I mean, to be fair, I think it was the first sack of the game. It was the first time Perez has gone down. Second time. Perez is 19 for 22 with 192. Doesn't feel like that at all. I can't believe he's got 200 yards already. It's the quietest 200-yard first half ever. Yeah, but he loved Camden Yards. He loved it for the sole fact that so it's a gorgeous ballpark. He loved it because it really changed the game and brought back that retro stadium, that specific one-purpose stadium. I'm just adjusting my monitor because my charger unplugged. I need to charge my other monitor, so keep that in mind. Apologies for that. I wonder if the XFL team has a higher attendance than the Nats. Honestly, maybe. XFL, I think, is sold out. I think the XFL is sold out. So can you beat, 17,000? Can the Nats beat 17,000? I'm also adjusting because it turns out there's a game and a weather delay, so I have to adjust my monitor for that. Yeah, third place North, yeah. The third place North should absolutely get the spot. Because this is just, it's going to be very, very sad. Let's see, we'll put on, we'll do Twin Yankees. Put that on. I won't be at that stream as a Sea Dragons fan. That game deserves my undivided attention. I don't blame you one bit. You see my monitor setup. I can't really flip it around just yet. I will do a tour once I get my new apartment because right now it's kind of a mess right now. But I will once I get a new apartment, which is coming in June. It's coming in June, and I'll have a studio, and we'll be doing setups in a completely different place. We'll be doing setups in a completely different place. Like the background's gonna look a lot nicer. It's gonna look like an actual studio. It's gonna look really, really nice. A lot of framed memorabilia. Right now I'm just doing this on my couch because that's really, I'm in a pretty small place as things stand for stuff like this. Which is why I need the second space. So also help me separate work from just personal life. It'll help me separate that because it's always been tough. Also be nice to have another larger monitor because it'll help me with streams and help me with everything like that. Help me with I can technically work on my laptop and my monitor so I can upload a video while I'm on stream, which will be really, really nice. I can export to I can work on something and work on something else at the same time with two different computers. It'll be really, really good. Also, in terms of what's on the agenda, baseball channel. We got some videos that came out this past week. Got some videos coming up this week. The next JG8 video is going to be something TCU related. It's something TCU related, so keep that in mind. A TCU related video from the 90s. Just keep that in mind. Got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the works for all the channels. New video on GG9 dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. No clue what it's going to be on. No clue what it's going to be on. I've not even started researching. I've not even started looking. Yeah, I literally just woke up and hopped on stream. I was up till about, the stream started at 8:45 a.m. my time. I was up till 3:15 working on the video. So working on about 5 hours of sleep right now. But that's better than normal. Not the sleep-wise, but the going to bed at 3:15. Better than normal, which is good. XFL to change the playoff qualification rule now to get the best matchups. Oh, there would be terrible PR. There would be terrible PR. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. It'd be terrible PR. To change the rules midway through the season, it would make it look like a complete farce. You can't do it now. That's the last thing you could do. I'd love it, but you couldn't do it. You could not do it. It would make it look like a complete farce. It'd almost make it look like how the Big Ten, how it was a complete joke in 2020 when they just let Ohio State play in the championship, even though they didn't have enough games, and Indiana really should have been the one to make it. DC and St. Louis are the best fan bases. I would agree. I would agree with that. San Antonio, I think, is a great fan base, too. It's just they've had nothing to work with team-wise, and their scheduling has been terrible. They had 2 home games the first, 8 weeks. One of them was at 10 o'clock at night. It was just terrible scheduling. For the first time ever, I'm rooting for a Seattle football team to win in St. Louis. Again, we are still at halftime, 20-9 game. Halftime stats for those wondering: Jordan Tamu having a great game at QB, as is De'Ara King, who came in on the last drive. 7 for 10, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. King 4 for 6, 65, 1 touchdown. They're not really running the ball a lot. 8 carries, 21 yards. Not really getting a whole lot going, but Josh Hammond, Brandon Smith, Lucky Jackson, all doing their thing as they have been all season. Francis Bernard having a phenomenal game. 9 tackles already. It's really for DC, just avoid the stupid mistakes on defense, play more discipline, and you're good to go. DC's just dominating this game. DC is the best team in the XFL for a reason. They're the title favorite for a reason. And they look very, very good. Very, very good. XFL needs to make a better schedule. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the number one thing. Because right now, you don't know what channel the games are on. You don't know what time the games are on. That's one thing the XFL did a phenomenal job at in 2020. It was the same time slot for every game and the same network for every game. You knew that, okay, at 4:30 the game was on this network on Saturdays. At 8 o'clock the game was on this network on Saturdays. So, stuff like that. It's been all over the place. Now, it's gotten better, I will say. It's gotten a lot better over the last few weeks. But it's got some work to do. Like, you got games that took place on a Monday, games that took place on a Thursday, random times. Like USFL, you know there's 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. You know that. Now, the networks are different. There needs to be way more consistency with the USFL with the networks because you don't know. But I think if I'm the USFL, I want way more doubleheaders with networks because I only see one on the schedule. I think the ESPN doubleheader, I think the ratings are going to be phenomenal today for the XFL. Who will win Warriors Kings? I think the Warriors win. Crazy good game one. Crazy good game one. One of the best I've seen, but I think the Warriors take it in the end. The quality of play of the XFL is vastly improved. But like the ratings today, the ratings were bad on FX because you have to go out of your way to find FX. You don't have to go out of your way to find ESPN. Because gyms have ESPN on, and they don't think twice about it. Bars have ESPN on just randomly. Even if there's nothing on ESPN, they'll have it on. People just throw on ESPN. And you have back-to-back games taking place on ESPN. I think the ratings are going to be through the roof this week. By through the roof, I mean that 700,000 to 1 million range. I think you're going to get that. I really do. Would Riley Freeman from the Boondocks? I have never seen that show, so I cannot answer that. Rabbits was close, yeah, but that was not a first round game. That was not a first round game. Great game. And great comeback by Chicago, but not a first round game. Right, the third quarter just kicked off in the USFL and is about to kick off here. So we will see what ends first. USFL, by the way, 13-9 Houston. Yeah, flagship ESPN, that's the... Yeah, they don't publish the numbers on ESPN Plus, too. Yeah, like if it was ESPN 2, different story, but flagship ESPN, I really think the ratings are going to be very, very high. Especially for the Battlehawks game. And especially because a lot of the baseball games right now are in weather delays. A lot of the baseball games, Tigers are in a weather delay, Reds are in a weather delay. There's a lot of games in weather delays right now. All right, here we go. Rusalito kicking off. The kickoff is fielded And we are underway in the third quarter of action. Again, DC leading at 20-9. Down to the 27-yard line on the return, Puka Williams. ESPN 3 is still with it. Yes, it is. So ESPN 3 is free ESPN streaming. It's also what they brand it if you're watching on stream, but you're watching on you're watching an ABC game. So a lot of people are going to be watching Lakers Grizzlies on ESPN 3. So that's how it's going to work. Really? It's hot in Toronto? Really? All right, first and 10 at the 27-yard line. Here we go. QB, looks like it's Tamu in there. It is Tamu back in there. Handoff up the middle. That's really the one thing that has not been going well for DC. They have not been able to run the ball whatsoever. Abram Smith, 5 carries for 8 yards. That's it. They only have 21 yards rushing on 9 carries, and 8 of them came from King. So that wasn't even a real run. That was him making something out of nothing. So really, 13 rushing yards on 8 design runs. Hopefully St. Louis does have a 15-minute interview with East Troy. Oh, they're going to have a 45-minute interview. He's going to do the entire game. Briley Moore on the drag route, gain of 5 on the play. And for the people that said destroying gets publicity for the league, first off, he was not even a good kicker. The other thing, he didn't advertise on any of his socials. That's what bugged me. He didn't advertise on any of his socials, so no one knew that he was there. It appealed to no one. 3rd and 5, Jordan Tamu. Incomplete pass. It sailed for Chris Blair. So a good start for the Renegades. They needed it, as DC is going to go 3 and out. So a quick drive there. Arlington going to get the ball back. They get the defensive sanity. A late person getting onto the field for Arlington. 4th and 5. Booming kick. It's fielded at the 10-yard line. It's got a backpedal. Not sure why you don't just let that one go into the end zone, possibly. You got a backpedal. 17-yard line is where they're going to start this one off. 17-yard line. So a nice punt there to flip the field. What's it, 51 yards of net? ESPN 3 is how I was able to watch all the college soccer matches. Yeah, that's ESPN 3. A lot of our games were on ESPN 3. A lot of our games. That was always fun doing ESPN 3 game versus ESPN Plus. Felt way different. Way more production. ESPN 3 games and ESPN Plus games, way different production levels. Like ESPN 3, if you have a college game on ESPN 3, they bring the whole production truck. ESPN Plus, it's student run, basically. It's run by the ESPN Plus broadcasts are run by the school. ESPN 3 broadcasts are run by ESPN themselves, so the production quality is way, way higher. They actually bring teams in, and you got paid for ESPN 3 broadcasts. Smith gets the handoff. It's like when I worked in ESPN Plus broadcast, I got nothing. But when I did an ESPN 3 broadcast, they brought in their own guys, so I didn't announce. I did research assistant. So I would be the one relaying the stats and doing the research and saying it to the announcers and the on-air talent. But you got paid for that. So keep that in mind. ESPN Plus, you usually don't get paid if you're a student. I think DC jumped offside. ESPN 3, you do. ESPN 3, they pay you. Down to 21, but this will be a free play. So move them up 5 yards. Offside. ESPN the Ojo, yeah, I love when they do that every once a year. As a once-a-year thing, I love it. Plus, it's not like there's anything else going on August 8th. It's not like there's anything else that's happening, usually. So 2nd and 6. Offside on the defenders. Another defensive penalty on the defenders. So 2nd and 7. Cost-cutting measure by ESPN Plus is how they describe it. And to be fair, ESPN Plus has so many games, you couldn't do them all. And pass interference on the play, so another penalty, give him a first down, intended for Sal Cannella. I'm waiting for the day Bally is gone. You and me both. You and me both. I think everyone's waiting for the day that Bally is gone. There's not a single person that likes Bally. I like their score bug. I will say, I do like their score bug. I'm one of the 5 people in America that likes their score bug. It's got a very ESPN zone kind of feel to it, like you're at a sports bar with a ticker on it. Like, I really like it. But I hate everything else about it. Comeback route, it is caught. Nice juke move down at the 40-yard line. And we have a almost almost crazy play in the Michigan-Houston game, if anyone saw that. I think he was down. I think he was down. I absolutely think Arlington was down. That play looked way dead before Vaughn's fumbled that ball. So comeback route gain of 14 on the play. I didn't do this, the football. Tyler Vaughns at the comeback route, down at the 40-yard line. Yeah, he was down. He was down. He was down when he lost that ball. But I think DC is going to challenge it. I think DC is going to challenge it. So I like the USFL replay center can overturn roughing the passer all personnel fouls. I do like that, yes. Have I seen the video Warren Sharp posted about Merrill Hodge? I didn't know that was Sharp that posted, but I have seen that video with Merrill Hodge. It was right on the money. Right on the money with his analysis. Let's see. Vaughn's, I think they're going to challenge this. He was down, lost the ball, but he wasn't touched when he got brought down. Now the ground caused the ball, but he was not down. But then he was touched down. He recovered the ball, and then he was down. I don't know how you're overturning this. That play was over. That play was over. I don't know how you're overturning this. Right there, he's got possession of the ball. Right there, Vaughns has possession of the ball. And he's down. And he's touched down. Yeah, Panthers almost had a huge pick six. Yes. Yeah, I saw that. And then the crazy lateral at the end to try to keep it alive. Did see that, yeah. I mean, Vaughns had possession when he was touched. Yeah, he was absolutely down. It's a first down. I don't know what the DC did not have to challenge that. It doesn't look like, because it was a turnover play. So again, a 14 on that bizarre play with the official review, but the interception count, he was just like 2 yards short. 1st and 10, Smith in the backfield, play action, Perez scrambles, screen pass, it's caught, 40, 45, he's got the first down, 50, hurdles the guy, down at the 44-yard line of DC, again a 16 on the play, Nate Becker going up and over for a gain of 16, and good enough for a Renegades first down. Oh, NFL Matchup was a great show. And then they started burying it at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Blandino was a ref, yes. Leveled on the play. Play action. No one biting. Michael Joseph lays the boom on Brandon Arconato. Loss of 2 on the play. Beautiful, clean, textbook hit. And Michael Joseph with a huge, huge play. 2nd and 12. 2nd and 13, actually. And now now Michigan just scored in the USFL. 2nd 13 at the 47-yard line. 3 wide. Handoff. Handoff goes to Smith. Spin move. Breaks out of it. Keeping the pile moving down at the 38-yard line. A beautiful run by Davion Smith. Gain of 9 on the play. 3rd and 4. It's a nice play by Davin Bellamy to try to get the strip, because Smith was holding onto that ball like it was luggage, but breaks out of it, spin move, 3rd and 5. We have an injured Renegade. A lot of injuries happening in this game. It is Jake Stetz, the guard, who was down, so we have a quick break here. 3rd and 5, 10-12 left. You have to figure 4 down territory possibly, depending on how this 3rd down play goes. 3rd and 5 at the 39-yard line. And Taylor Russolino, the kicker, is 1 for 2. Taylor Russolino, 1 for 2 today. Made a chip shot from 24, missed from 45. So 3rd and 5, 39-yard line. You have to figure it down by 2 possessions. This is 4 down territory because you can't punt because you risk the possibility that Marquette King booms into the end zone. So he's done that a few times. He's done that a few times this season. If anyone wants a great matchup for baseball today, D-backs Marlins. You've got Sandy against Gallen, 2 of the favorites for the Cy Young going at it. It should be a great game. D-backs need this one to avoid getting swept, which would obviously not be good. Obviously not be good. Still a commercial break again. The next stream happening in an hour. We have the big game between Seattle and St. Louis. One of those teams is guaranteed to make the playoffs. The other team guaranteed to miss it. And we should know after this game who it's going to be. St. Louis wins, they're in. St. Louis wins, they're in. Seattle wins. It gets very, very interesting. I will put it that way. Seattle wins, it gets extremely interesting. And you got tiebreakers galore to deal with. And we were at a commercial break right now. 10-12 left. There's an injured player. Injured player was Jake Stetz. So we're just waiting on that. And then we will resume play in this game. You can still hit a commercial break. I do like that with the XFL shop that they have a QR code. You can scan it and just do it there. It's a nice, easy way to do the transaction. And you're seeing on your screen the XFL playoffs, what everything is looking like. The South Division title, we will not be able to live stream that. The North Division title, we'll be able to stream that a bit later. So be joined in progress. I'll be in Kansas City flying. So it's whenever I get back to my place. Whenever I get back to my place, we will be able to do that. I definitely want to do it. I definitely want to do that game. That beer steak is near the top, folks. That beer steak is near the top of the section. I told you, this beer steak, with the attendance today and the fact that it's a day game, it's going to be long. It's looking very good. It's looking very, very good. 3rd and 5. One in the backfield. Perez drops back. Miscommunication picked off. He's gone. He is gone, folks. Pick 6. DC defenders. Pick 6. DeJuan Neal. How about that? Long live the lemons. Long live the beer steak. DC up by 17. This one is getting ugly, folks. A big-time miscommunication. And the beer cans are being thrown onto the field. Okay. They got to clear the field of some debris. This is a big-time miscommunication. Felt the blitz. There's an out route, and Perez, I guess, thought it was... I guess the receiver had the option of either coming back or doing an out route, and the receiver ran an out route. Perez thought it was going to be a comeback, and DeJuan Neal with a easy pick 6. Or excuse me, it was not 26. My apologies. It was DJ Swearinger, number 36. My apologies. I thought it said 26. It was DJ Swearinger, the former South Carolina safety, the former Texan. They're going for 2. How many defensive touchdowns is that for DC this season? Living up to their name as the Defenders. This one is getting ugly, folks. DC up by 17. They can make it a 3-possession game right here. There have been a lot of close games lately. This is not one of them. A lot of really close contests. I think every game last week was 1 possession. Every game yesterday was 1 possession. This, not looking like one of them. Yeah, this is a great performance. Going through from the 5-yard line, making a 3-possession game. King keeps it himself, and he is just short. Interesting call to call a run on the 5-yard line. But 26-9. Things are looking dire for the Renegades. And perhaps the only fans cheering more than the ones in DC are the ones in San Antonio, as their season is going to be probably kept alive. It's probably going to be kept alive for one more week. Arlington started this game off well. They had a nice long drive, got down to the 1-yard line, and then it kind of imploded from there. Kind of imploded on a terrible, terrible sequence at the goal line. They were held to 3 points. Watch Arlington come back. It's not happening. I mean, it could. I mean, to get you to stay on the stream, I'm guessing it could happen. But I wouldn't bank on it. Now with the way DC is playing on both sides of the ball. Kickoff fielded at the 2-yard line. And here we go. 15, 20, 25, down at the 26-yard line. Renell Hall. I wonder what the XFL can do to get more sites to have atmospheres like DC and St. Louis. It's a good question. They need markets where they're football starved. Like DC, football starved in the sense that everyone hates Snyder. Also, St. Louis football starved for obvious reasons. They need football starved markets. San Antonio could easily be that if that team was actually good. San Antonio could easily be that. Bob Sousa said to Luis Perez, "It's not your fault." I mean, I think it was a miscommunication. I think he thought the receiver was running a comeback. Perez fires. That one almost picked up, but instead is grabbed by Sal Cannella. Game 9. He kind of floated that one. Anakin and Obi-Wan Booth, who's play-by-play. I think Anakin's got to be play-by-play. Tackle there made by Santos Ramirez. Second and 3. Handoff to Letty Brown. Brown gets the first down, gets a bit more down around the 39-yard line. So first and 10. 8:49 left, 2-possession game. Orlando, I'm not sure about Orlando. I'm not sure. Problem is that, that stadium is gigantic. It will not look good on TV. You need to play in smaller stadiums that are like close to the field. Like Audi Field's a perfect venue. MLS venues are perfect for the XFL. MLS venues are perfect. Orlando will just never look good on TV with that stadium, unless they play where Orlando City plays. Then it's a different story. Called by Cannella at the 40-yard line of DC, gain of 21 on the play. There was a flag, so hang on a second, folks. Holding on the offense. Holding on the offense as the D-backs just take a 1-0 lead. Alec Thomas with an RBI single up the middle. I think we'll get to the next game late. I don't think so. I don't think we will. My guess is they will not start the next game until this one's over. They'll move it back 15 minutes if they have to. They're not going to take that chance. Because you have to also remember, there's nothing, like ESPN can delay that game as long as they want. Because Sunday Night Baseball starts at 7 o'clock. And the XFL starts at 3 o'clock. The game's not taking 4 hours. So it could happen. Almost intercepted again by Francis Bernard on 1st and 20. And it's starting to unravel a bit for Perez. XFL San Diego, yeah, that's a logical move. San Diego would be a phenomenal city for the XFL. I think they will put a team there. Vegas, I think, is going to stay. Honestly, everything indicates that Vegas is staying. If they can get a deal for Allegiant Stadium, I think they're going to stay. Orlando, I think, is gone. Orlando could be gone. But San Diego needs a team. San Diego absolutely needs a team. They call a run play. It goes nowhere. Omaha will be a phenomenal city. I mean, they supported the Nighthawks tremendously for the UFL. Play at TD Ameritrade. It could work. It could absolutely work. Fargo's not terrible. Honestly, Fargo is a decent-sized market, relatively speaking. There's nothing there. You're playing indoors. Fargo's not a terrible idea. Like, you could get a really good college crowd for that. You really could. 3rd and 18. Perez going toward the sticks. It is incomplete. The last thing that the Renegades needed. Perez is a bit slow to get up, so he walks off the field. 6:40 left. DC making their stamp on this game as they look to win the North Division title and clinch a home playoff game. Columbus, I don't think would work. Columbus, I think there's a bit too much in the area they got to compete with, and cold weather, it wouldn't work. The punt by King, fielded at the 14-yard line. Down at the 27. I think the problem is that Arlington can make the playoffs, which is just sad, because this team in the playoffs would be terrible. XFL Memphis, well, you have a USFL team there, so it wouldn't work. They can't go where the USFL is. DC has a Troy Polamalu cosplayer, number 43. I mean, Francis Bernard has been a ball hawk today. Francis Bernard has been insanely good. Supposedly the XFL's marketing budget is listed at $150,000. If that's true, I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. They're keeping the costs down that way. Like, they're doing a very good job because the ratings are pretty much identical to what they were in 2020. Doing a very good job. Spudger and Patrick Boots. Spudger has to be play-by-play. I mean, we know we know Patrick would be play-by-play after the whole Russell Wilson thing. We've seen Patrick in the booth. We've seen him. Fulham defeated Everton 3-1. Yes, big win for Fulham. Not that I thought we were in danger of getting relegated, but now we're officially safe. It's been a struggle lately for Fulham. Not that I'm complaining, because, look, as much as I would have loved to play in Europe, I don't think we would have had the squad depth to do it and last the full season, play European football and do the Premier League. I think we would have pulled a Sheffield. I think it would have gone poorly. I think it would have gone very poorly. Plus, Mitrovic with the 8-game suspension actually gives us a chance to evaluate the squad in some of the capacity. Like we don't really. I'm fine with it. Now we can get a head start on next year, and we know, okay, we won't necessarily have to promise Europe or think about that. We can focus on just the Premier League. We're not big enough yet to focus on Europe. We're not big enough. We don't have the squad depth. Problem is that Pauline is probably gone. Probably going to get about $100 million for him. It's been a phenomenal signing, but he's going to want to play Europe, and I don't blame him. But, I mean, phenomenal season for Fulham. I cannot complain the slightest bit. Just wanted to survive, and we've done more than that. Playing in states without income tax makes it more competitive when it comes to commuting for players. That is true. I never thought of it that way. Although then again, I mean, it doesn't really matter where they play because all the teams, no one's located in their cities. No one in the XFL is located in their cities. They all fly back to Arlington after this. Oh, that snake is looking phenomenal. So everyone flies back to Arlington after this game, even the players on DC. So there's all one centralized hub in Arlington. Makes it easy to trade players, easy to do stuff like that. So no one's located in the city. So I think that's the next step for the XFL. You have to locate the teams in the city so you can do some community outreach and get some more attention that way. But a JG9 trip to a DC game at some point, that looks like a blast. Oh, I'm so down. I'm so down. Gain a 13 on that run. First down for the defenders. Yeah, once they actually move to the cities, that will matter. But for now, it doesn't. But they will eventually move. Got to feed the snake chant going. 13-yard run, first down. DC up by 17 points. 2-possession game. Have a chance to blow this one open. Tamu going deep. He's got a man. Oh, he missed Armstead. That would have been a touchdown. Had Armstead on the wheel route. And it's incomplete. Yeah, I think that will be the plan. Oh, he had Armstead wide open. I think that would have been a touchdown. Absolutely would have been a touchdown. Why do you think the Renegades are now called Arlington when they still have a D in their logo? That is a good question. I'm not sure. Because Dallas is a bigger pull than Arlington in terms of market. So I'm not sure why they ran themselves as Arlington. And that's a nice game by Abram Smith on the catch. Gain of 12. Good for a first down to get into Arlington territory. A nice play by Abram Smith that stares down at his guy. I'm surprised I didn't get called for taunting there. Stares down at Bosby on the tackle. Oh, they're going to say he didn't get the first? Really? He did not get... They're saying he stepped out earlier. So my apologies. 3rd and 2 at the 48. Saying he stepped out earlier. Low snap. Jordan able to recover. He almost runs for it. He had the space. Instead fires it over the middle. It is caught by Briley Moore at the 41-yard line. Now they have the first down. Gain of 9. Gain of 11 on the play, rather. Oh, Jordan Tamu is absolutely one of the better quarterbacks. He is one of the favorites for MVP. It's going to be him, McCarron, and DiNucci in the running for MVP. Problem is that McCarron missed a game. DiNucci's been inconsistent. He has way too many turnovers. And one of them is not making the playoffs. So Tamu might win the MVP. Play action. It's caught. Just shy of the first down is Briley Moore. I'm still waiting for Daniel Teichman to come back. Hopefully he's got like $2,000 riding on this game. Hopefully he's got $2,000 on DC. That would be nice. Yeah, that was the weirdest and greatest stream ever. That's a stream I'm never gonna forget. I'm never gonna forget that stream. Thank you guys so much for that. All right, swing route caught by Abram Smith. 30, 25 down at the 23-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play, good for a first down. This one is a bloodbath. The only way that the same owners would let the league lease the venue is to rebrand. Really? And that would make sense then. Because you don't want to lose that market because they actually did pretty well in 2020. So that would make sense. I did not know that. Handoff up the middle. Needed 2 yards. He's got 4. Down at the 19, 18-yard line. How does Houston have both a team in the XFL and the USFL? I mean, Houston has a team in the USFL by name only. That's the only reason they have a team. It's by name only. They don't play in Houston. So, I think by year 3, there will not be 2 teams in Houston. My guess is that one of the USFL team will move. The Houston team, the Roughnecks, have no reason to move. They play in Houston. They actually play there. The Gamblers are as good as gone. There's no way the Gamblers come back in 2024. There's no way. If the USFL is still around, there's no way they come back in 2024. Because you can't put 2 teams in Houston. Tamu, he plays for the Defenders now. He plays for the Defenders. That's the guy I've been watching this whole time. He plays for the Defenders. Favorite clickbait punishment. Applebee's commercial. I think the Applebee's commercial. 2nd 8 at the 16-yard line. Tamu drops back. Had a wide open guy. It got batted down, and then Tamu catches the ball himself. All right, a little bit of Brett Favre action. Brett Favre to himself. Let's see, he had a wide open guy in a slant route, got batted down at the line, and then caught by Tamu. Ryan Mueller with the bat down. So Jordan Tamu, I think that's the first quarterback catch this season, I want to say. All right, here we go. 3rd and 6. 1 minute left in the third quarter of action. Tamu drops back, feels pressure, fires over the middle. It is picked off! Picked off by the Renegades. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He is gone! He is gone! He is gone! How about that? Anything you can do, I can do better. Sudden change, pick 6. Joe Powell. There is a flag on the play. It might be on the return. But as things stand, that's a pick 6, and we got a ball game. Let's see what this penalty is. Jordan Tamu with a rare mistake. Let's see. During the return, personal foul block. Okay, so the touchdown will not count, but the pick does count. It was on the return. It was on the return. They were in field goal range. Would have been a 3-possession game. Would have put this game on ice. I'm trying to think where the... Oh, there's the penalty. There it is. There was no need for that, too. What was he doing? What was he doing? There was no need for that. Shakur Brown, what on earth was he doing? He was gone. He was absolutely gone. There was no need for Brown to do that. That's one of the dumbest blocks I've seen. There was no need for him to do that low block. He was gone. Oh, man, a terrible penalty for the Renegades. A terrible penalty. Cost him a pick 6. Smith gets 3 on that run. Will the leagues merge? No. I don't think they're going to merge. Never consider a game over until all time is up. Yeah, I didn't think they're going to throw a pick 6 there. Or close to a pick 6. Doing homework even though I want to watch the Marlins game. I mean, to be fair, Marlins game will be over in 90 minutes. I mean, it's Sandy against Gallen. It's going to be a quick game. This will be a pitcher steal all the way, so... Would a team ever go for 2 to win Super Bowl? I think so. I could see it. Over the middle is caught. It is caught. LaJuan Winningham down to the 15-yard line. And that is the end of the third quarter, folks. It's the JG9 Bowl in baseball tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to that because both the D-backs and the Cards are struggling right now. I'm not looking forward to that. I said I root for whatever team needs it most. I'm probably just not going to watch those games. I'm probably just not going to watch. I'll just look at the results. I can't watch. Oh, both teams are just... The Cardinals, I mean, they have a logjam at the outfield and no pitching. Everyone saw that coming. And the D-backs, I mean, the rotation's just been bizarre. The bullpen management, Scott McGuff is not the guy. I don't know why he plays, especially over Chafin. I don't know why Bumgarner's in the rotation. So it's gonna be a lot. Yeah, no merger. They achieve 2 different purposes. They play 2 different times of the year, so there's not gonna be a merger. I'm multitasking by watching the game and working. That is awesome. Yeah, he did say yesterday he had an early day at work, so hopefully that's going well. Hopefully that is going well. This is my work. This basically is my work. I'm gonna watch the game with you guys. And again, fourth quarter just starting. After this, we're going straight into the St. Louis game. St. Louis, Seattle, biggest game of the season. It should be a phenomenal contest. So I've heard baseball on TV, radio, and in person. There's nothing quite like being at the ballpark. I mean, I went to all 7 games of the D-backs Homestead, the last one they had. NBA and NFL merger. How would that even work? How would that even work? Yeah, definitely not radio. I'm not a big radio guy. baseball is probably the easiest sport to listen to on the radio, but I don't know, I just like watching in person. I'd rather listen to music on the radio than an actual game. World Baseball Classic teams with Toronto, Otani make it to the finals. The Angels, both of them are so bad. And the pitching has just not been there. Although they did call up their shortstop. I think he could be a stud. He raked in college. He raked in the minors. He could be very, very good. Jacob Doe with the $2 tip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jacob. Really means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Let me just put your name in there. I'm not a radio. I see what you did there. No, I guess you could say I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. I definitely don't belong here. World Baseball Classic. I mean, the crowd was great for USA Canada. I can't even imagine what it was like in person for the Miami games. Completely. I think the Marlins need to tap into that demographic. They've done a bad job tapping into the demographic. I think they need to tap into that. Make their experience more like a Caribbean-style experience. Because that was phenomenal. MLS to Liga MX, would that be possible? Liga MX, yeah, I don't think so. I think this is as close as we're getting with the Leagues Cup between the two. Because the problem is that you have promotion relegation in Mexico, but not in America, so how would that even work? I don't know. It'd be tough. And plus they play at different times of the year. They have different schedules, so I can't see it. Have you heard the NFL wants to get flag football in the Olympics? Yes, and that does not surprise me, especially for 2028. I think it's going to happen. I think we are going to see football in the Olympics in 2028. I actually would be very surprised if we didn't. Because you get to pick one sport. The host country gets to pick one sport, and I'd be shocked if it's not football. I don't know what else you would want to do. You don't want to do baseball, because baseball, you're not guaranteed a medal in baseball. You want to pick a sport that you're pretty much guaranteed a medal at, and that appeals to you and that you wouldn't get anywhere else. You want to pick that. You want to pick a sport like that. And baseball, you're not going to get the major league players. You're not going to stop the season for it. And there's been baseball before. Football would make way more sense. Plus, you can do football, and it gives you a way to use SoFi Stadium during the first week of the Olympics. Because it'll be used for... It gives you an excuse to use SoFi besides the ceremonies. Because you're not really using it for anything else. You might use it for soccer, but you're not using it for anything else. Arlington has to burn a timeout. 3rd and 6 at the 11. It's amazing how the game is going global. I didn't expect that 10 years ago. Yeah, that is Goodell's legacy more than anything else. Roger Goodell's legacy has been growing the game internationally and doing a phenomenal job at it. He realized the NFL was kind of tapped out in America. Tagliabue Rizzo kind of took it to its max in America. And Goodell is trying to get it to grow further than that. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Oh, that's what Captain Obvious looks... That's awesome. That's awesome. Watch Team USA lose in the flag football game to Canada. I mean, we did the World Championships, the World Games in Birmingham. I think we lost to Mexico in the final. The women lost to Mexico pretty badly, I want to say. The surfing competition, someone brought that up, that it was in Tahiti. I don't get it. I hate it. You could easily do a surfing competition in France. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. 3rd and 6. Oh, I could see that with Jose Moreno. I could see that. It's an easy talking point. 3rd and 6. Screen pass. Oh, they had the blocking too. Had the blocking. It would have been a walking touchdown for Winningham, but it's a bit high. But there was a flag on the play. There might have been a late hit. Perez did go down. There might have been a late hit. This might be roughing the passer, so hang on a second, folks. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Won't the Olympics in Brisbane have cricket? Look, I think T20 cricket makes a ton of sense for the Olympics. I think T20 cricket makes a ton of sense for the Olympics. It is roughing the passer, so keep that drive alive. Rank the 80s commissioners. Rozelle has to be last. David Stern is 1. He saved the NBA. He saved the NBA. The NBA was in dire trouble. He got the NBA to its popularity. from playing games on tape delay to being one of the biggest leagues. David Stern, as bad as he was at the end, he saved the NBA. Rozelle has to be last. Look, he was a great commissioner in the 60s. By the 80s, he was terrible. No expansion, even though he pushed for that for a while. Couldn't get it done. 2 work stoppages. Just not going to work. Not going to work. Yeah, Rozelle was not good in the 80s. He was not good. Billy was pretty bad, too, for baseball. Billy was really bad. Smith! Down at the 1. Smith is down at the 1. Traditional tackle football in the Olympics would make sense if you only have 4 teams playing. Yeah, that's not going to happen, though. The last thing you want is to have only 4 countries competing in a sport. You don't want that. MLB was Bowie Kuhn. He was bad. NHL, I'd say, was probably the second best by default then. Because there were no work stoppages. MLB had work stoppages. Bowie was not very good. He was very divisive, so... Yeah, Rozelle, there were some issues. There was a whole cocaine issue with the 80s. Then again, it was the 80s. Handoff up the middle. He's in. He is in. Davion Smith. The Renegades are right back in it. Why did Tagley retire early? Oh, he felt disenchanted with the sport. I mean, he doesn't watch football anymore. He just felt it was time. Bettman is a very lousy commissioner. He is absolutely a lousy commissioner. Today he used to work in the NBA and television department. He met David Stern. That's awesome. That is awesome. Look, he ended his tenure on a really sour note, but he did a lot of good things for the NBA. A lot of good things. DC is going for 2. Trying to make it a 9-point game, make it a 1-possession game. 12:49 left. It's a handoff. He doesn't have it. Why are you calling a handoff from the 5-yard line? Once again, Francis Bernard with a stop. It is still a 2-possession game. So no harm done really for the defenders after that interception. It's still 2 possessions. 12:49 left. Arlington cuts it to an 11-point game, but it is looking dire. It is looking very dire. And DC can clinch the division. They can clinch the division with a win. Get home field for that North Division title game in 2 Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Do you consider the lottery to be rigged from 85? Yes. There is no way. The envelope was frozen. There was a bend. All the evidence points to it. All the evidence points to it. Yeah, hockey is not grown. That's the thing. Hockey is not grown with Bettman. Every sport has grown under the other commissioners. It is not grown under Bettman. Yeah, Manfred, I think, has moved ahead of Bettman because no work stoppages. And the rules have actually been pretty good. I like the rules that he implemented. Honestly, I think Manfred moves ahead of Bettman. Yeah, Bettman is known for no labor peace. No labor peace whatsoever. Right, for those wondering time-wise, 9:45 left in Michigan-Houston in the USFL on NBC. 12:49 left in this game. So we'll see which one ends first. Remember, USFL is a clock stops with 5 minutes. XFL is 2 minutes. Oh, O2, I mean, it was clearly rigged. O2 was clearly rigged. I mean, the ref went to jail. It was very clearly rigged. The free throw discrepancy, I mean, come on. Yeah, NHL, great product with awful marketing. I would agree with that. MLB, NBA, and NFL each have more than 100 players get paid more than the highest NHL players. Yeah, exactly. Like, I look at NHL contracts and I say, oh, I can't believe they overpaid him with $6 million. I'm thinking, like, to myself, that's an overpay for $6 million? Like, that's how little these guys are making, relatively speaking? Out of the major North American 4, do you think MLB has the biggest hardcore fans? No. I'd probably say they have the least hardcore fans. I would say, if you're a hockey fan, you are a hockey fan. If you are a hockey fan, you are diehard. That sport might not have the smallest number of fans of the 4, but if you are a hockey fan, At least from what I know of people, you are a diehard. Like, they are extremely loyal. I think football also is the biggest hardcore because you can watch every game. MLB, I'm not sure how many people are watching on 162. Gritty has done a better job promoting the NHL than Bettman. Not false. Not a false statement. Yeah, NHL fans, yeah, from what I've seen, are the most hardcore. Absolutely. College football fans, I don't know about that. All right, kickoff to the 20. 25. Puka is down at the 26-yard line. I think it depends. I think it depends on... I also think college is not a great comparison. Because the thing with college fans is that for a lot of people, that's all they have. For a lot of people, that is all they have. Like if you are in Knoxville, you are in Tuscaloosa, you're somewhere in the deep south, you don't have any pro teams. That's all you have. That is all you have. So, of course you're going to be hardcore because that's your only team. NHL teams are in markets with other pro sports teams, so you have more to compete against. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. De'Ara King is now in the game at QB after the pick by Tamu. King came in the first half for a bit, gained a 1 on the run. The D-backs are running, but cost are sick on Sandy Speech. Look, we have 1 run. That's all that matters right now. That's all that matters. This makes it interesting. You can tell. You can absolutely tell Swift sports hockey. He knows more about hockey than he knows about the other sports. You can tell. De'Ara King going to run again. Nothing doing back of the line. 3rd and 10 to 26. Like, I guess like a fair comparison is almost like saying, what team is the biggest in Jacksonville among the pro sports teams? And of course it's the Jaguars because they have no one else. They don't have any other pro sports teams. What team's the biggest in Green Bay? It's the Packers. So I think that's not a fair comparison. I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think with teams like in Alabama, all they have is college. So, of course, King going deep. That is well underthrown, and it is intercepted. It is intercepted. There's a flag on the play, which might be why he chucked it deep. This might be a free play. If it stands, it is an interception by Cravion LeBlanc, the former FAU corner. LeBlanc is celebrating. We'll see if he is able to continue celebrating after this referee makes the call. Hey, Taos was there for like over a decade. That had to hurt. That had to hurt. Holding on the defense. Holding on the defense, which is why he chucked it deep. It was a free play. Like, I look at it as the NHL teams are in markets with NFL, MLB, and NBA teams. There might not be the most NHL fans, but if you are an NHL fan, you are a diehard. You are an absolute diehard. If you like hockey, you either like watching playoff hockey or you are a hardcore fan. I fit into the I like watching playoff hockey category. But I would be a diehard if the Coyotes played in downtown Phoenix, where it can actually go to all the games. I think I'm not sure I want that because the Coyotes are terrible and they would just bring me heartbreak. He had a 17 on the run by Abram Smith, good for a first down. Then again, if the D-backs move to Tempe and the Coyotes move to Tempe, I might do that. I might just move to Tempe. I don't know. We'll see. The NBA has about 6 teams in markets where they're the only team among the NBA. Yeah, I would say the NBA, I look at it as there are, I think, only 2 cities where they care about their NBA team more than any other team. As that run by Smith goes nowhere. Yeah, in the U.S. I think there are 2 cities, and that's it. I'm not counting Sacramento because that is they only have the Kings. But in cities where you have multiple teams, I think there's only 2. Actually, I'd say 3. There are 3 cities where they care about their... Because I can't really count Milwaukee. They have the Brewers, so I would say among the teams that have at least 3. So you have NFL, MLB, NBA. As that run goes nowhere by Smith. So 3rd and 10. LA and Phoenix, yeah. You know exactly where I was going with that, where they care more about their NBA team than anyone else, than any other team, where they are a basketball town. It's Phoenix and LA. Just counting Big 4, obviously it should be Big 5 with MLS, but we have an injured Renegade down with 9:35 left. It is Isaiah Graham Mobley who was down on the field. 3rd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Isn't the Timbers more popular in Poland than the Trailblazers? I don't know. I mean, the Trailblazers pack the Rose Garden every game. And to be fair, the Trailblazers haven't really given the fans anything to be happy about. But not including MLS. Not including MLS. San Antonio, no, because that's their only team. That's their only team. I'm talking teams with 3. 3 teams out of 4. If I'm talking 2, then Milwaukee would have. Oh, but don't get me wrong. I absolutely love MLS and think we should count it, but most people don't count it. But I absolutely have no problem counting it. I'm not counting cities that have 2 teams or 1 team. It's 3 or more. I think the only 2 that qualify are Phoenix and LA. With MLS included, it would be Sacramento, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. I mean, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Sacramento by default because they don't have anything else. Only hockey towns in the U.S. I think are D.C., Vegas, and Detroit. Yeah, Footprint Center is not built for hockey. That's why. I wish they played at Footprint, though. I would go to so many. My wallet would not like me, but I would go to every game. I would go to every single game if they did it. I used to go to most Suns games, and then they got really good, and KD happened, and now it kind of got priced out. At least the D-backs don't price me out. DC is they love their Caps, but I don't think it's the number 1 sport there. I would think football is the number 1 sport there when the Commanders are actually good. Well, West Side NBA action was great. The first 2 games were not good, but then obviously Cleveland game was great and Sacramento was phenomenal. Light that beam. If Pittsburgh got an NBA team, it would be called the Yellow Jackets. It definitely has to be black and yellow. They got a team. Honestly, I would think. It's going to sound crazy. I think you want to go alliteration for Pittsburgh. I think you would want to go alliteration. Like you have the Pirates, you have the Penguins. I would think go with the Pigeons. I honestly think an NBA team would be the Pigeons. The attack will be so a lot of relocations. A lot of relocations. Rams, Raiders in the same year? I mean, yeah. But Pittsburgh is not an NBA town. No, it is not. I had to do a project on in my sports branding class for my master's on putting an NBA team in Pittsburgh. That was a tough sell. Should the commies move to DC proper? Either move it to DC proper or move to Virginia. Landover's not working. Move to Virginia or move to DC proper. Any city that has a specialized local version of Lid's Locker Room. That is true. God bless Lid's Locker Room. Broken tackle. Smith gets 12 on the play. First down. We are back. Again, Isaiah Graham Mobley was the guy that was injured. They're into Arlington territory now. Commies playing in Audi, 18,000 seat stadium. You want $2,000 tickets? Because that's how you get $2,000 tickets. That would not be good for anyone. People in Pittsburgh root for the Sixers? I doubt it. I don't know. Pittsburgh fumble on the play. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the defenders, so they dodge a bullet there. Good play by Ty Clary, the center, to fall on that. But Philly and Pittsburgh are pretty far away from each other. I don't think anyone in Pittsburgh will be called cold-blooded rooting for a team in Philly. My guess is people in Pittsburgh root for the Cavs. That's my guess. I would guess they root for the Cavs. I mean, Cleveland's about 90 minutes away. Left hands up, who are we, the Commanders? They need to adopt that chant for real. I love it. Armstead stuffed way behind the line. Loss of 6 on the play. 3rd and 17. Yeah, I would say Cavs. I would absolutely say Cavs. Most popular sport in Chicago? I would say baseball. I would probably say baseball. Is Louisville too college-oriented? No, I think Louisville is actually a great market. They have the arena. I mean, KFC Yum is basically an NBA arena, masquerading as a college arena. I think that would be great. King fires, caught, needs 17 yards. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Some nice footwork there by Josh Hammond. Needs 17, gets 18. First down for the defenders, and you can see the fans starting to realize 7 minutes away from clinching the North Division title. They had to make a stand on 3rd and 17. They couldn't do it. First and 10 at the 29-yard line. 4 wide. Timeout on the play. We'll say De'Aaron King is led a touchdown drive. He's leading another scoring drive. This is really good how they use both Tamu and King. Use them well. Why do you pronounce Louisville like that? How else do you pronounce it? One of my best friends went to Louisville. That's how she pronounced it. How else would you pronounce it? We have official attendance number. 18,684. Largest crowd in Defenders history, including XFL 2020. DC cannot get complicit. They have to play the full game, but it's looking very good. Just don't make any dumb mistakes. That's all they got to do. I mean, they're clearly the better side. When you got a full crowd going, you can do the wave. It's a party atmosphere in DC. Louisville? Louisville? No, it's Louisville. 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 First and 10, handoff. Up the middle, nothing doing. That is the one thing that DC has struggled with today offensively. They have no run game whatsoever. A lot of run stuff at the line. I mean, of course St. Louis has a larger crowd. St. Louis they played a bigger stadium. DC has 50 rushing yards. That is it. Averaging 2.5 yards per carry. Look, DC's crowd's been phenomenal. DC's crowd is phenomenal today. 2nd and 9. Quick pass goes to Hammond. Stuffed at the line. Louisville. Can Albuquerque? I think they could do MLS. I absolutely think Albuquerque could do MLS. They support New Mexico United very well as it is. I think they could absolutely do MLS. Because MLS, you have to remember, that's a once-a-week commitment, and it is a 20,000-seat stadium. That's very doable. The other sports I'm not so sure about, but they could absolutely do MLS. 3rd and 10, King fires. Intercepted! Intercepted! The one thing he couldn't do! You talked about being complicit, just not being complacent. What was King doing? He just got to kick the field goal. Oh, he threw across his body. Oh my goodness. What is King doing? He threw across his body, and I don't know what the replay guy's doing. There was no one there who was going to be short of the sticks. Renegades football with 5:22 left. Back-to-back 3rd down turnovers. It is a 2-possession game still. They got a lot of work to do. But this is not entirely out of the realm of possibility. And just as a reminder, Arlington ran out of time in the first half. They ran out of time. Joe Powell is the man injured. He's their best defensive back. They ran out of time. They were trying to score in the first half. At the end of it, they ran out of time. They did not call timeout in the first half until it was way too late. They did not call timeout. They waited way, way too long. By that, I mean they should have called timeout with 1:40 left. Instead, they took it down all the way to 40 seconds. They wasted a minute. They could have had 3 points on that drive, a one-possession game. Have to point that out. That clock management could come back to bite them. 5:22 left. Perez, over the middle. It's caught by Letty Brown. Gain of 7. And here we go. They got to go quickly. You got to score here. Then you got to get the 4th and 15. There's no way you're doing it back to, you're giving it back to DC on a kickoff. There's no way. There is no way. 2nd and 3. Got to go quick. 5 minutes left. Perez taking his sweet time. 15 seconds on the play clock. Gets it off. Perez over the middle is caught. It's caught by Sal Cannella. Cannella breaks a tackle down at the 49-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. Good for a first down. J9, this is Seahawks who won drafting in the 4th round. This is not a prank call. That was a crazy story to do. When I found that, I was like, I got to do that. I'm amazed I could find footage of Burke in the NFL because he only had 39 receptions. I'm amazed I could find footage. Or not even that much. He had very few receptions. He's got blocking downfield. 40, 35, 30. Down at the 26-yard line. It's Javonte Payton. Looked like water paint in the open field on that one. Big gain there. And we've got a ball game, folks. 27-yard line. 1st and 10. 4 wide. Just under 4 minutes left. Luis Perez, the recently acquired QB from the Vipers. It's a high pass intended for Cannella, incomplete. The problem with Albuquerque is that, remember, for the other sports, you're doing multiple times a week commitments. Except for NFL, but they can't do NFL. That'd be just massive. MLS, it's once a week. It's a 20,000-seat stadium. Yeah, I don't know why the Renegades are taking their time. I don't know why. Again, the clock management's been all off. This is not what we need to be doing. There's 3 seconds left. Will they get this off? 1 second, 0. They take their sweet time, slant route. All that for a slant route. He gets the first down and gets a bit more out of it too. Okay, Tyler Vaughns with the big gain. 3 minutes left. You got to score before the 2-minute warning. You got to score before the 2-minute warning. First and goal at the 10-yard line. Here we go. 2:54. They're all out of sorts right now. Perez, empty backfield. Again, taking their sweet time. 5 wide, taking all the way down to 3 seconds on the play clock. I don't know what they're doing. Perez, gonna run it himself. 10, 5, slides down the 4. They gotta go quick. You gotta go before the 2-minute warning. You gotta go before the 2-minute warning. You want that extra timeout. You want essentially an extra timeout. You gotta go quickly. They're huddling. They're actually huddling. It's like they've never practiced this. They've never practiced a 4-minute drill. I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief. 3 wide. They got to go quick. They're not going quick. This is insane. Perez fires. Out route. Incomplete. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That is some atrocious clock management. It's like they've never practiced a 4-minute drill situation. You just burned a timeout. You could have easily gone before the 2-minute warning. You just burned a timeout. That is atrocious on so many levels. Wow. All right. 2 minutes left. Again, after this, we will X out of this stream, and we will start up a brand new stream between St. Louis and Seattle. That game is on ESPN as well. 2 minutes left. I don't know what Bob Stoops is doing. The clock management today has been atrocious. Absolutely terrible all the way around. Yeah, MLB, I don't think they could do it. Too big. Did I just read that right on the bottom line? The Phillies are up 9-0 in the first inning. Did I just read that right? Did I just read that right? They're up 9-0. Okay. On this episode of Dumb Decisions, Bob Stoops does a full hack. He's been doing a full hack all season. He's phoning it in. I truly believe it. We have 2 minutes left. Again, after this, the big one, St. Louis, Seattle. Again, what's on the line in this game right now? Arlington needs to win to clinch a playoff spot. If not, it goes to Week 10. DC, if they win, they get the number 1 seed in the North. They host a playoff game. The Phillies are up 9-0. Wow. That is crazy. Great start to the game. So 3rd and goal. Arlington with 2 timeouts left. You have to figure if they score on this drive, they'll go for the 4th and 15. I'm watching the XFL. It looks like there are any fans. There aren't, because the game is taking place in Memphis and it's taking place between Michigan and Houston. That's why there's no fans, because no one cares about these teams. It's a messed up business model with the 4 hubs. Both games are at the 2-minute warning exactly. Yeah, pace of play has been very good. Pace of play has actually been very good in the XFL and the USFL. For this game, at least. Yesterday, not so much. Yesterday, the USFL games took over 3 hours, 10 minutes to complete. 3rd down at the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. Play action. Screen pass. Brown. Bernard cannot make the tackle, but down at the 1-yard line. We'll see what they do here. You have to figure they're going to go for it. 4th and goal at the 1. This is the ball game. You have to figure they're going to go for it. I think Arlington called the timeout just to get everyone settled in. Francis Bernard having a great game. Missed that tackle. That was big. Okay, now the clock is running. Clock is running. They are going for it. This is the ball game. Empty backfield from the 1. I don't know about this. 1-yard line, empty backfield. What on earth? Perez fires, end zone. Incomplete. I cannot believe they went empty backfield from the 1, but hang on, there is a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play. Why don't you make it an 8-point game? Because you're at the 1-yard line. I have no problem with not kicking the field goal. You need to score 2 either way. This is the easiest way you're going to get a touchdown. I have no problem with this. But hang on a second. There might be a flag on this play. Pass interference on the defenders. Will Barlow challenge this? You have a challenge left. Will you use it here? And PI is going to be tough to overturn, but will you use it here? You know, Michigan has just taken a 29-13 lead over Houston. That one is over in the USFL. So 1st and goal at the 1. They're not going to challenge. It did look like PI. Perez, handoff, up the middle, Smith, touchdown. The Renegades are right back in it. The over is hit. It looks like DC minus 10 will not hit somehow. Looked like a surefire thing at one point. And you got to figure they're going to go for 2 here, make it a 3-point game. 1:20 left. A 4th and 15 coming up after the conversion. But credit Arlington taking advantage of some costly DC mistakes. Back-to-back touchdown drives on back-to-back picks. DC shooting themselves in the foot this game with some critical errors. They're going for 2. 3-point game. Perez, empty backfield. They rush 3. Perez steps up, fires. He's wide open. Touchdown. 2-point conversion is good. Tyler Vaughns. 26-23. And hang on a second, folks. And again, you have to wonder, the clock management. They could have gotten this before the 2-minute warning, had an extra timeout to work with. The first half, they absolutely could have had They absolutely could have had time at the end of the first half to do something. They didn't. There's a bad clock management. So we're saying Vladino's on the phone with Vegas. I mean, that was PI. That was PI. I mean, Joseph tugged his jersey. I mean, that was PI. Here we go. 26-23. 4th and 15 coming up. DC is on thin ice. San Antonio is watching this. They are eagerly waiting to see if Arlington can pull off this comeback, end their season potentially. We have 80 people in the stream right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, after this stream, we are live streaming St. Louis, Seattle, the big one. So keep an eye out on that. I will be exiting out of this stream once this game is done, and we will hop straight on to a new stream featuring St. Louis and Seattle. 4th and 15, we've seen teams have success with this year. Week 1, we saw St. Louis, San Antonio. A massive comeback there by the Battlehawks. They convert a 4th and 15. Houston, Seattle, we saw Houston almost come back with a 4th and 15. Here we go. 4th and 15. This is the ball game. Get this. First down. For Arlington to convert this, and you're right in it. Don't get it, and it's looking very dire. Here we go. Play clock at 10. Perez is still not at the line. Okay, now he's there. 7 seconds. 6, 5. They got to get this off. Perez pointing out the mic. 2, 1. Gets it off. Perez drops back. Steps up. He gets hit. Fires. Oh, no. It's caught. It is caught. Oh, my goodness. Sal Cannella. Sal Cannella with the grab. 25-yard gain. They're in midfield. And the Renegades maintain possession. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Sal Cannella. Sal Cannella with the grab. He ran into the sack. It looked for sure like Jacob Panasic was going to get the sack. Instead, Perez fires. It's a gain of 25. Perez over the middle. Incomplete pass. Was that a fumble? I think the arm was going forward. The arm was going forward. Oh my goodness. Arlington, again, if they win this game, they clinch a playoff spot. San Antonio and DC cannot believe their eyes right now. Every game last week was 1 possession. Every game on Saturday was 1 possession. This one did not look at all like a 1-possession game. 26-9 at one point, and DC was in Arlington territory. In the red zone. Back-to-back picks have cost them dearly. Tyler Vaughn, 2nd and 10. Gain of 6. They have 2 timeouts. Just got to get a field goal range for Taylor Russolino. That's all you got to do. 3rd and 4. DC territory. Ball at the 44-yard line. 4 wide. 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. They're taking their sweet time. Letty Brown is in the backfield. Luis Perez has to burn a timeout. Oh, man. Oh, no, DC called timeout. DC was the one that called timeout. It looked like Perez was the one that motioned for timeout. Instead, it's DC calling timeout. Again, after this stream, after this one, we are doing the St. Louis-Seattle game. I will have to hop off this stream. We will start a brand new stream over there. So keep that in mind. That'll be on a separate stream, but on this same channel. So stay tuned for that game. What a crazy game so far. Absolutely crazy, crazy game. And Taylor Russolino, the kicker for the Renegades, missed from 45 earlier, hit from 24. This game is certified nuts. Oh my goodness. Luis Perez had an interception earlier today, pick 6 on a miscommunication. Other than that, he's played phenomenally. 30 for 40, 326, and a touchdown. This game is insane. 4 down territory, at least until you get this one first down. Then after that, you can think about it. 3rd and 4. They have single coverage on the near side. Single coverage on the near side. We'll see if they exploit it. They do not. Perez going wheel route. It is broken up. Kickoff for the Battlehawks game is at 3:04. They just announced. Sal Cannella, the intended target, the man who was the hero on the 4th and 15. 32 seconds left. This is the ball game, folks. Again, kickoff for the Battlehawks game is 3:04 Eastern. My guess is that it will be pushed back if this goes into overtime, which we have had 2 overtime games so far in the XFL this season. 4th and 4. 4 yards separate DC from the North Division title. And Arlington going to burn a timeout. They have 1 left. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea in the slightest bit. There's no difference between 2 timeouts and 1 timeout at this stage. Either way, you're not stopping the clock. Here we go. Again, DC, they win this game. The North Division runs through them. Arlington pulls off the 17-point comeback in the 4th quarter. Crazy, crazy stuff. If they pull this off, then Arlington clinches a playoff spot, shocking DC and San Antonio. 4th and 4. Luis Perez. 3 wide. They have an extra blocker in, it looks like. They're playing a bit off. Rannell Hull in motion. Perez, pressure, fires, out of bounds. Incomplete pass. And the defenders win it. If you're Arlington, you might as well challenge. If you're Arlington, this one might not be over yet. You might as well challenge if you're Arlington. You have 1 timeout. You might as well use it. You have the challenge. Just challenge anything. You could challenge that. Actually, there is something there. There was hands to the face. There might be hands to the face on this one. Honestly, if Stoops wants to challenge, there might have been hands to the face. There might have been hands to the face on one of the defensive linemen on the defenders. This one might not be over yet, folks. Again, you might as well burn the challenge. You have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose. There might have been hands to the face on one of DC's defensive linemen. You saw it on the replay, watching the replay here. Not sure what they're challenging, whether they're challenging PI or hands to the face, but there might be a case for hands to the face here. On number 6. On number 6, there might have been something there. On Fadol Brown, there might be hands to the face. That's how the right guard got bodied or holding. It's something on Brown. It's either hands to the face or holding on Brown. You might as well burn the challenge. Again, you have nothing to lose. This is the first smart thing Bob Stoops has done all day. You have nothing to lose. And this one might not be over, folks. This one might not be over. The challenge is successful. The challenge is successful. I told you there was something there. I told you there was something there. That challenge is successful. Again, you had nothing to lose. There was something there. Fadol Brown with defensive holding. Kickoff pushed back to 3:06. It might get pushed back a bit more. Again, ESPN has nothing there between 6 and 7, so you can push this back as long as you want. Defensive holding on the play. This one is not over yet. How about this finish? How about this? Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen anything like this? A great challenge there by Stoops, had nothing to lose. And Fadol Brown on the replay, you clearly saw there was defensive holding. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. At this point, you can start thinking about a field goal. Perez fires over the middle. It's caught. Can he get out of bounds? He does. Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It is Tyler Vaughn's. 21 seconds left. 2nd and 1. Oddly enough, the last time it was an ESPN doubleheader, the first game went into OT. We might see that here. 2nd and 1, 21 seconds, 30-yard line. Be a 47-yard field goal from here for Russolino. 3 wide. They're going to call a handoff. They have a timeout. The handoff goes to Letty Brown, gets the first down and then some, down at the 18-yard line. Now you call timeout if you're Arlington. Cannot take a sack here. The 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. This looked like a surefire thing, folks. This looked like a surefire thing. DC was up by 17 points in the red zone with the ability to make it a 3-possession game. Instead, they throw a pick. And from that moment on, Arlington has been on the front foot. And they can pull off the most stunning result of the season. Even more stunning than DC's loss to Orlando. All things considered. This is insane. I don't think they called the timeout too early. I don't think they called it too early. You're just taking shots to the end zone at this point. You have time for 3 shots to the end zone. I actually think the clock management was pretty good there. 15 seconds. Holy cow. Kickoff is still at 3:06 for Seattle St. Louis. Again, that stream is not starting until this game is over. 3 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. DC has guys back. They rush 4. Arlington, Perez steps up. He's going to scramble himself. Got to get out of bounds. Gets out of bounds at the 9-yard line. You got time for 1 play. You got time for 1 play before you got to kick the field goal. Down at the 9-yard line. 8 seconds left. Have time for 1 play, but they're not going to do it. They're going to kick the field goal right now. I'm a bit surprised by this. They're going to kick the field goal right now. Marquette King on the hold. Again, Russolino 1 for 2 today. Made from 24, missed from 45. This a 27-yard chip shot. Russolino. Overtime. Timeout, actually. Timeout. DC burns their final timeout. Again, the overtime rules, for those wondering, you get 3 2-point conversions from the 5-yard line. Highest score wins. After that, it alternates rounds. So you alternate 2-point conversions after that point. We've seen 2 overtime games so far: Houston, San Antonio, and St. Louis. against Vegas. Both came in the same week. A 27-yard attempt for Russolino. Neither team has a timeout left. Which means DC also lost their challenge. The 27-yard kick. Russolino. It is good. 5 seconds left. And from 17 down, the Renegades have done it. They have tied this ball game up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised they didn't try just one play in the end zone. I have to let everyone know on the St. Louis stream that this is not starting until this game is over. I'm assuming no one is waiting for that stream necessarily. I'm assuming, at least, that no one is waiting for this stream. But if there are people, I have to let them know. Again, we are live streaming straight after this game is done. This is insane. The 4th and 15 conversion to Sal Cannella. 5 seconds left. Does DC have a miracle in them, or are we playing for overtime? Again, DC had the North Division wrapped up. Arlington, it looked for sure like they were going to have to go to Week 10 to decide a playoff spot. And here we are. 26-all. The play is blown dead beforehand, and I'm not sure why. Just yet, neither team has a timeout, so that wasn't it. All right, so the St. Louis game apparently is on ESPN News. Apparently that's what I'm hearing. It's on ESPN News. All right, so we will have to wait. I'm shocked they're kicking that off now. I'm shocked they're not waiting. They have nothing to air between 6 and 7 because 7 o'clock Sunday Night Baseball. All right, so let me adjust my monitor, get the ESPN app up on my Xbox, and let's have that on just to see what's going on there. Kickoff, 15, 20, 25, overtime. How about that, folks? Overtime in the XFL. Nothing else like it. Oh no, the refs weren't incompetent. That was clearly holding. That was clearly defensive holding. So you can get 3 2-point conversions. All right, I'm setting up a monitor for the St. Louis-Seattle game. Did not think we'd be having overtime. No one thought we'd be having overtime. No one thought we'd be having overtime. This is insane. Whew, what a game. What a phenomenal game. Again, Seattle-St. Louis is happening right now on ESPN News. While we wait for round 1 to start, since I have that game up, handoff there for Seattle. So they have 2nd and 1. Yeah, 26-all. It was 26-9, and DC had the ball in the red zone. Back-to-back picks is what did them in. Way too many mistakes, and it cost them dearly. Again, you get 2-point conversions from the 5-yard line. You get 3 of them. Whoever has the most wins. We have 90 people in this stream. Thank you so much. Yes, this would be the largest comeback in XFL history. This is absolutely insane. They don't want to keep delaying the game any longer. Yeah, I'm surprised by that because this is not going to take more than 5 minutes. You could easily start it at 3:15. Again, we cannot stream the Seattle game until this game is over. I have everything ready to go for the Seattle game, but we can't do anything just yet. Each team has 1 timeout in the overtime period. Round 1, Perez, empty backfield, 5 wide. He drops back, fires, end zone, incomplete, bit too high, intended target Sal Cannella. Santos Ramirez with the coverage. So no good there. Each team has a timeout to work with. Where's what that red box is? DC now has a chance. Arlington was no good on that last one. Incomplete to Sal Canella. Santos Ramirez, the intended target. For this one, it's Jordan Tamu in a QB, not De'Ara King. You got 3 bunched up on the near side, 2 on the far side. Empty backfield. The snap by Ty Clary. It's a good one. Tamu senses some pressure as they rush 3. Fires end zone into traffic. Incomplete. Batted down. Looked like it was Joe Powell who batted that down. Intended target on play, Brandon Smith. And we go to the second overtime period. 26 all still. Here we go. Neither team successful on their first attempt. They get 2 more. 3 wide. This time they have a running back in there. It looks like it's Letty Brown in there. Luis Perez changing the play. Each team has a timeout to work with. 5 on the play clock. Got to get this one off. Perez takes it. Feels some pressure. It's the fire to the back of the end zone. It is incomplete. Once again, Santos Ramirez. They've been targeting him, and Ramirez is saying, not in my house. They've been targeting him on back-to-back plays. It's not working. It is not working. Do not throw Santos' way. Is whoever scores first? No, it's after 3 rounds, whoever's the most. After 3 rounds, whoever's the most. So now it is DC ball. Neither team successful on their 2-point conversion try. Can DC get on the board? You know that their fans want it. You know that San Antonio wants it. You got Abram Smith in the backfield. Got an extra blocker in there. They motion Chris Blair. Tamu fires out route. It's caught. It is caught. Josh Hammond. Josh Hammond. And we go to the 3rd period. DC up by 2. And now the pressure is on. Arlington needs to get this, and they need to stop DC. If Arlington does not get this conversion, it's over. They've targeted Santos Ramirez twice. Both times Ramirez has come up with a big play. Will they target him a 3rd time? DC wins this game. The North Division title is theirs. Arlington wins this game. It's a 17-point comeback, the largest in XFL history, and they clinch a playoff spot. If they don't win it, we go to Week 10 to determine the South Division final spot. Here we go. 28-26. 5-yard line. They motion Van Der Esch. Perez fires. Slant route. Batted down. It is batted down. It is batted down by Cameron Lewis. It is batted down. Or excuse me, by Davin Bellamy. There's 2 17s in my depth chart. My apologies. Davin Bellamy with the bat down. And just like that, folks, the DC defenders. It was a scary one. It was a scary one, but the defenders defend their win. They defend their home field. They clinch the North Division Championship. We will see it back at Audi Field in 2 weeks for the North Division title. And just like that, the defenders beat the Renegades in overtime, 28-26. All right, I'm logging off. I'll be back in literally 20 seconds.